счастье на холодном дне. Till we're all sleeping in the cold below.
Bonsoir, c'était une brève apparition dans le Devstream. Je reviendrai tout à l'heure, du coup, à la fin du Devstream, ou dans le Devstream, pour vous parler un peu de tout ce qui arrive. Je vous laisse avec les équipes. À tout de suite.
C'est vous qui avez mis ça là?
Uber Eats, ça arrive.
Dream. sleep. Dream. Not of what you are, but of what you want to be.
Nata, who have you become? My own daughter, the last of my womb. Your Tenel, their touch. I now see the womb of the sky. The sky will be as it should be. The moon will be crushed by the weight of the void. Bleed the reservoir until it is desert dry. Lotus, join with me. Destroy your shame. Become the one I love. Become Nata. Hesitation, but remember your despair. This is your only chance to make it end. Your hatred is too weak, Shadow. One.
Hello everybody! Welcome back. It's Devstream 173, our first Devstream back since TennoCon 2023. Interesting group of folks over there.
Got some stowaways.
Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Carrie.
Oh, we wish. We wish.
Yeah, we wish.
We really do wish.
Oh man, the circus must be in town.
The
am
circus
I right?
is in town, yeah.
We have a lovely crew, a bunch of people on this couch, so why don't we just get right to with introductions that I forgot to do during
I don't even know
Tenno
their
Live.
names.
Let's find out.
Who are you?
Sir?
You know who I am.
Sir?
Oh, starting it off. Okay, all right. Let's go, Geffu.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Hi, I'm Steve. Hi.
I'm Megan.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
I'm Pablo.
We work on a couple different games, but
work at DE.
at the
We
same
work
time
at Digital Extreme
together,
Games.
we work at Digital Extremes, making games, and we are going to
Hey, I
talk.
put in my work.
You
did.
did.
I put in my work.
I know.
You did.
I know. We have lots.
I
to
worked
talk
hard on those broken mods.
hey.
Oh, sorry, spoilers.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Before we jump into what is probably going to be a bit of a longer stream, I'm not going to lie. We're going to try our best to
We
keep
were
it.
tricked.
I told you 1 hour ago exactly that it might be a long stream. We might be here just for maybe a bit over an hour, but we'll see. Get comfortable, get your snacks, get your hydration. We will be on the test build today. We are going to be showing off, as we mentioned during Tenno Live, everything Abyss of Dagoth related, all of the...
Daggett.
Daggeth.
The goth.
Daggeth.
Daggett.
Dagoth.
Daggeth.
Yep.
Well, who knows? We'll
Luckily,
find out.
in-game pronouncement is.
Luckily, grandmother will pronounce
Yep.
it correctly for us
Yep.
eventually. We'll find out.
We're gonna take a
We will be in the test build today, so you might see some PH stuff, some work in progress stuff, but we'll walk you through it. It's actually, obviously it's Thursday, so it's a double stream today. So we'll have this stream and then prime times later on with myself as well. So you'll see me twice, myself and Zach.
You just gotta do it straight because this
Yeah,
one's
I'm
gonna
just
go
going to
off.
stay here. I'm not moving. The Twitch drop for today's stream is a bag of Tau Forged Archon shards. Not only could you get one, you could get two.
Which I was like, I don't know if that's a lot of shards, but that means if you've endured what could be a 2-hour stream, you deserve 2 Tau Forged Archon
Exactly.
shards. It's a
Exactly.
grab bag, so you don't know what one you're going to get.
Exactly. There's obviously the 3 that you could pick from, and you're going to get 2 of those for
If you watch the whole time.
if you watch the whole time, start to finish. You will get 2.
You're trapped with us.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that you might have injured yourself?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Don't know what
Because
you're talking.
is that a glove or like I can't
It's a
quite.
it's a style statement.
Oh,
It's-
really?
yeah.
So it's like a new fashion accessory to get a cast
Yeah,
on your wrist
actually.
that you broke?
Yeah. It's,
And is it true that Megan actually gave away how that happened?
It is true.
On a
Megan
prime
on
time?
prime time.
Yeah.
It is also the gossip stream, apparently.
But has it been said on a dev stream?
No,
though?
because it happened between TennoCon and now. So
Okay.
Would you like
Alright.
to tell the people?
No, I don't think it's important.
just don't drink it.
You were so you're so focused on Warframe as a thing
Yeah.
that you had to break it doing something Warframe related.
Yeah, Limbo is my favorite Warframe. And I was doing the Limbo dance, and I fell. And I broke my wrist and tore my ligaments.
Makes sense.
No one can say you're not dedicated.
Okay.
Exactly.
You'd already won, though.
I had a... Stop! No one needs to know!
It was just
Yeah,
a big finale.
The story is that she had already won.
Yeah,
Who's the real winner? You.
exactly.
You.
You'll actually see that I'm using this to my advantage this stream. And I'm looking forward to revealing...
Yeah. It's
Oh
interesting timing.
yes, yes. Interesting priority
Anyways,
shift
you only have an
in
hour,
the
my
development.
friends.
Yeah, go.
Moving right
Megan-
along.
Megan-
Okay, sorry.
Moving right along, we also have Gift of the Lotus alerts. Those will go live at 3 p.m. like they normally do for 24 hours. We have a Riven cipher and a melee Riven because in this update we have 2 new melees coming. I didn't even plan that. I just
Hey!
maybe
Good
subconsciously. I did.
segue, yeah.
Thank you. And obviously it's September 28th right now, but September 30th will mark the 3rd year that Canadians observe National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. The day honors the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis survivors of the residential school system. And Digital Extremes recognizes this day and has actually donated towards the Atlausa Family Healing Services located here in London. And they provide Indigenous mental wellness programs, 24-hour emergency women's shelter, and so much more. So if you do feel inclined to donate during this time, you can do !truth in Twitch chat and donate. So we thank you in advance.
Yes, thank you.
All right, like
we
we
can do
mentioned at
that.
the top of the hour, TennoCon 2023 happened.
Yeah.
How do we feel? It's been a month?
It's been exactly
It's
a month.
crazy that it
It's been
feels
like-
only
Yeah.
1 month. August 28th was TennoCon 2023. It is September 28th. It's been 1 month.
The big lesson I learned is that we don't need to go all out for TennoCon anymore and just let Pablo show a quality of life slide.
And say hydrate rework?
I've never heard a crowd pop.
The hydrate reworks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how do we follow that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 6 months grind on Soulframe, and it's like, here's a quality of life slide. Well, let's give the people what they want.
It's true. But really, how are we feeling? 1 month after, we're back at the grind, like we're back in it again. How are we feeling?
Amazing.
Really, really good. You always get
Yeah.
super scared and anxious for those days, and then it just goes like that. You get to meet so many people. It's great to feel really old when someone says, I started playing when I was in high school, and
Oh
now
my
I have a
God.
career. And I'm like, oh, God! Just withering away before them. But yeah, the in-person is such a different energy. I love it so much.
It was so good for the studio to go through that again because it had been so many years. and
We
so
had new
many
people
voices.
that were just, in the crowd experiencing the outpouring of energy and love and appreciation for what they did. So it's great for adrenaline and great for morale for everyone.
Yeah, I think there was some highlights for sure. For me, it was probably my favorite TennoCon ever, just because we got to do so.
Every time I looked at the screen, you were crying.
You had a
microphone in your hand. You're just like, ah! Like tears of joy, but you're just like crying. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened?
It's just a lot. It's a lot of good feelings and the team together and the community together. And I know Danielle was happy that we had gummy worms this year, and I knew that for me, from my point of view, getting the gummy worm. Oh, no! I wanted to catch it.
Did you two plan that?
Yeah. I didn't catch it.
Maybe you should have told Megan. Oh my God.
Are you jealous? Do you want to bet?
If I get hit in the head, yeah, maybe.
If you have to make Danny
Danny
throw it again, oh my God.
get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, you have one in your hat?
I got lots of tricks up my sleeve.
It's kind of warm and ugh, I'm not sure I like this.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great TennoCon.
I don't even know how to proceed.
Bowman Boss crawlers too.
like I
That's
could
so
die.
hilarious.
We had a really great, honestly, still buzzing from it. I'm so happy that we got to show what we're working on, and we're going to spend the rest of the year. Like today, we're going to talk about the DeGoth update, what's coming in October, and we're really going to deep dive into that update. We probably have over an hour of things to talk with you guys about in the community for that update. Favorite TennoCon ever for me. Really fun to see everyone. The team is the biggest it's ever been, and we're working on more than we've ever been working on. I was very happy. I think the only thing that could have made it a perfect TennoCon is if we didn't have the heirloom situation go as it did. So I'm just kind of going to speak from the heart here on that. For me,
Sure.
that was really the only thing that I wish we handled a lot differently. And for, if we continue with the heirloom program next year, we are going to be making pretty radical changes based on feedback. The skins visually people loved, but the way we rolled them out really missed the mark for a lot of people. So we did make some changes, and we will next year for next year's TennoCon. If we do an heirloom V2, we absolutely are going to be pretty radical changes for how we're going to release those. So if that hadn't had the reaction it did, it would have been a perfect day. But obviously we make mistakes. I'm not saying that holistically everything with heirlooms was a mistake, but there was clearly some things that just did not make people happy. And the adjustments we did make, honestly, we gave our reasoning in the forum post about how we felt we could fix things and still honor the promises of what people actually bought. So from there, that's V1 heirloom. Next year will be V2 heirloom once we get ourselves in a position to commit to it and decide if we think the community would like a complete refresh of the pack and skins for a different batch next year, I should say. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I can see in chat people talking about FOMO, but also people obviously love the skins themselves. They're just amazing.
Well, that's the thing,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that's why
And so I think it's just tuning that stuff, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. I knew it was coming when the vessel was there. I knew it was coming, and then the music kicks in.
We're back to the demo. Okay, we're back to the demo.
Okay.
What do you mean?
And just
You
moving
knew it was
there.
coming. You didn't warn me.
And then the 9 Inch Nails, and I was just like, oh, because everyone was loving it, but I was just you wait. Yep.
The biggest scheme of
Yep. And then
Bait and
obviously Megan killed it with the playthrough, which is always a huge amount of pressure.
Megan,
And,
Danny, throw that trophy for
No.
Megan.
I can't see, so I don't know. Like,
Throw
what's
that
happening.
javelin.
Some
Got that sword?
some people think that they're watching a video and they're not. Like we
Right.
always try to show you the game. We always show you the real stuff. A lot of people thought the Soul Frame was like a video edit, and it wasn't. It was Sarah and Joey playing it live, and then just the amount of rehearsal, as you know, and people are tuning it and changing the demo and tweaking it, and you're like, don't look left when you're supposed to look right, and all that shit is just it's intense.
Yeah.
Maybe someone sent you a lot of notes about Grimoire and what you could and could not do. Like, don't sprint those straight. Don't do it.
Oh my God.
When you have it, don't move. Don't look when you move. And I'm like, what?
Doing a good demo is almost like sort of being an actor. Like
Yeah.
go in here, then walk,
you got your
then
beats.
casually look right, but don't look right too fast,
Yeah.
because then
Poor
people will
Meg.
think you're anticipating it.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like Soul Frame, obviously with the smaller team, and the last minute was like we were saying to Joey, like, don't hit Garen when he's doing a special tackle. You'll break his entire animation set.
Needless to say, all of these games are ready to ship, and none of these concerns are real.
Sweat.
Yeah, it's
sweat.
fine.
Yeah, it was a great day. We'll,
Yeah.
buckle up for next year, but we have a lot of things in between.
A lot of great things.
This is going to be a
coming.
long
we are
stream
excited.
already. We're already, 11 minutes in?
Stop!
Go, go, go.
I'm not off TennoCon yet.
Oh, no.
One thing we also did, obviously we were celebrating 10 years. We also teamed up with King's Coast Coffee to do Warframe Lotus Blend beans.
Let me smell those
Wait a
beans.
second.
those
Wait a
beans.
second. I didn't know
Can you open
this.
There you go.
I want some coffee.
No.
You could. Hand-picked.
Wait, are you opening it?
I want to smell
We're allowed
beans.
to open it, yeah.
My boss told me to.
How do I smell the beans?
You gotta rip it open.
Someone throw coffee next time.
Whip it at me.
No,
Whip it at me.
no,
I'll catch it with my broken
I
hand.
refuse. I refuse. You've already got one
We
broken hand.
collaborated with
I have
King's
no
Coast
idea.
Coffee
So
for
cool.
our 10-year anniversary blend, the
Yep.
Lotus Blend. It's hand-selected by the team here at DE, which was actually me, given
team?
4. No.
Oh.
You were a coffee nut, so
I
I
am.
wouldn't be surprised if you picked
They gave me
this.
4 blind bags of
Okay,
beans
yes.
and told me nothing about them,
Okay.
and I just tasted all of them.
And
I picked one, and they were like, "That's an interesting choice," and I was like, "What does that mean? Like, is that okay?" So, anyways, they are delicious beans. I've had it.
I guess you
Cool.
could say this whole stream is full of beans.
Exclamation point
How
coffee
did
if
we
you
get
would like
back
to
here?
get your
That's
beans.
brutal.
We do have a limited supply. So exclamation point coffee if you want to get yourself some Lotus Blend, have a little cup of coffee with the Warframe crew.
Even just like the art and stuff. I think
cool, eh?
Yeah, like the media team did a great job on all that stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Can I smell it though?
We couldn't actually get it open.
Oh,
You have to
really?
rip it,
Okay.
yeah.
Use those muscles. You can
And this
literally
is
rip
selected by you. This is
This
your flavor
my
profile.
selection.
Okay. This
I
might-
had a very jazzed up afternoon when I made 4 different kinds of coffee and had to taste test them all. It was a
Okay.
lot.
I noticed you didn't
Alright.
let anyone else participate in that.
Yep.
Did you want to come to my house and drink some coffee? Yeah.
What would I want more in life?
You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Moving on from this
Moving
I'll just work on
tutorial.
opening this.
Last but not least, TennoCon related. If you were there, obviously watched it, you'll know that we had a first time ever live symphony performance of the Deviri music. It was beautiful, it was stunning, it was incredible. We recently got news that the Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony, who are the orchestra individuals doing that Deviri music, recently abruptly filed for bankruptcy to the surprise of all of our musicians, which was really unfortunate, really sad. And DE has donated to support those musicians, but if you also feel compelled to do the same to support our lovely Deviri musicians as well as all the other musicians as part of the Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony, you can do !Symphony in Twitch chat. It will send you a link to their GoFundMe if you feel the need to support them. They did an incredible job at TennoCon, and we just hope that they can obviously get back on their feet and make some more incredible music, because they are absolutely incredible musicians, and we love them.
Yeah, and supporting the arts, I think if you can, that would be amazing.
Did I do a good job
Yeah, you did.
picking
Yeah,
beans?
they smell great.
They smell incredible.
Yeah.
They taste better.
Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
Okay.
Moving on to
Coffee nerds.
what's next. October is
Everyone
a
tuned in.
October is a big month. We have a lot of things going on. We'll get into the Abyss of Dagoth update, but we also have some in-person things happening. The community team we are headed to Las Vegas, Nevada for none other than TwitchCon 2023 and returning to our roots, Tenno VIP 2023.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
cool.
that.
What? No way.
Oh, look
we
at
get
all our
invited?
friends.
Apparently
No,
we did not get
So
invited.
even though you're in the accent, you're not going. But thank you for your picture. We are going to be throwing Tenno VIP 2023. If you're unfamiliar what this means, it basically is the community team going to an event, renting out a restaurant or whatever it may be, and just having a really good time with our community. There'll be prizes. I might give away a legendary core because I have no boundaries. We'll see.
What happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas. It is a free event. It's going to be happening on October 21st. It's going to be at the Paris Hotel. We've rented a ballroom. It's going to be Abyss of Dagoth themed. I have a cardboard cutout of Dagoth because she doesn't have a head. And
Oh,
you
do
can go-
players get to put her face in
Yes.
it? Oh,
I'm so excited.
oh my
I
god.
can't wait to
idea.
be there.
You can wear a costume, get spooky. It's going to be a really fun time. You can do exclamation point Tenno VIP.
Someone should dress up as Steve, so it's like Steve is there.
Ah, some Steve cosplay.
Yeah, because that's easier than inviting me.
It is.
Yep.
One less plane ride. Exclamation point Tenno VIP if you would like to RSVP your tickets. We do have a limited amount. We have a limited amount of
Please
space.
only RSVP if you know you're going.
Yes.
Like, please.
Please and thank you. If you're going to be in the TwitchCon area of Las Vegas and you want to come to Tenno VIP on the Saturday, please come. Would love to see you, hang out with you. We're going to try and get back to these next year because we're, back in that traveling the realm of the world, I guess. But this is the start of it. So we're excited to be back at TwitchCon as well. We'll be walking around, hanging out.
And if you do go to Las Vegas and you go to Magic Mike, it's not a strip show, okay? It's acrobatics and dance, okay?
And they give you fake money, which was so fun. Oh, sorry.
I tried to pretend your trip was respectable, Megan, and you ruined it.
Fake money is respectable. Moving along, we lost nothing. We gained everything. Moving along. Also in October, although it's spooky month and we have really fun things happening, it's also a very special month for Warframe and Digital Extremes because we have our Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign that will be running for the entire month of October. We're going to be raising money toward the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation, which is actually located right down the road in Toronto, and you're going to be unlocking special rewards for yourself. As you can see, we have the incredible Conquera collection of items, and I actually am in game right now, Danny, if you want to flop on over here. I have myself decked out in all of the Conquera items. So obviously we have previous years, we have the chest ribbon, we have the shoulders, and then what is going to be unlocked this year if you reach the incentive is the leg armor, which will complete the Conquera collection for Quest to Conquer Cancer. And of course, we'll have other fun incentives
Please
along
tell
the
me
way.
you're showing the UI. Not yet?
I'm getting there.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We have some beautiful display by fan artist Melee Bun that could be yours. We have
Beautiful.
a new glyph and sigil. We have a new Vermink floof.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the in-game version right there on my floor. And then
Okay.
we have IRL version. This was actually voted by you guys last year on what floof you guys wanted to see for this year's campaign, and you got the Vermink. So there you go, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can
And
play
there's
with
the
my
tumbler with
my
the
deer
art.
shirt.
We have the toque. Oh, it is a very exciting time to be a Warframer. And as well, as Reb mentioned, UI theme.
I don't know if you've seen this yet. Oh, okay. It's,
I have.
Oh, wild.
yeah.
Look at that. New
Yeah.
Conquera theme and background, and it works exquisitely with other themes as
Oh
well.
my God,
Look
it's
at
so
that.
good.
That is.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's beautiful. Another incentive for just the entire month campaign of October. It's going to be kicking off on October 2nd. Danny and myself will do a lovely little kickoff stream on Monday and get you all up to speed with what the incentives are and how the month is going to play out with our awesome creators doing their Quest to Conquer Cancer streams. It's going to be another epic month. Very excited for it. So we'll see you October 2nd for that.
That's great.
It's gonna be so good.
Also in October, Tennotober. If you are an artist and you enjoy Inktober, this is Warframe's version of it, where we do really awesome Warframe prompts for your artists. So
What's the first prompt? Do we know?
I can tell you in
You got some
25
art there you can show
seconds.
off, no?
I actually do have art for everyone, so we'll get there.
Reb's doodling. The first prompt of October 1st is Portal.
Portal. Okay.
Think with portals.
Exactly. Yes. Okay.
Yes, very well. Also happening in October, typically we do Nights of Navarus. So Nights of Navarus is going to return. It's our spooky thematic event with Daughter. She has a lovely store. She's morbidly dressed. She's got music. It's a really good time. She'll have some lovely things for sale for you. One of the things, we have a bunch of Day of the Dead stuff that's coming. We also have new glyphs. Thank you, Danny. The bottom right one of Lotus and the Cat is going to be in Daughter's store, and the other 4 will be in the market if you want to pick those up. So you can have a little spooky glyph for your profile. As well, we do have some cosmetics coming. We have a brand new signed Dana that is very spooky, Rev.
okay,
What am I looking at here?
It's half a bat wing.
This is driving me nuts. It's so cool.
Yeah,
The wing's
so-
so
Look at it.
cool.
Ooh.
Oh.
So as you can see, the right wing has been shredded, impaled with arrows, but the left wing remains intact as it struggles for its last gasp at life, as though it has been torn from the very viscera of the darkest recesses of your mind.
Reminds me of Vegas, right?
Are you a beat poet now? What's happening?
Do you see the parade? Yes, we have a very exciting Halloween-themed things. Many, many things indeed.
That
Navarus-
one is really cool.
Yeah.
But not only that, we
Wow, what
also
a
have
cool
some
design.
Sentinel accessories.
Yes.
Look at the little spooky guy. Here we have the Cavum Sentinel accessory, so we can look at his little. He's got a knife in his head.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
He has been stabbed by a, I think it's a kunai or
Looks
a
like a
despair.
kunai to me, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Someone got sick of their companion dying over and over again and decided to end its misery by a lobotomy. So
Nice.
Amazing.
Thank you, Rem. As well, this is coming. What I'm going to show you next is not Knights of Navarus, but it is coming in the Abyss of Dagoth update, which we'll obviously get into. But we have a Lotus skin.
I guess I have a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Oh, that's not medically advised at all.
Where this is my good ideas creative direction sheet, and I thought
It's just sort of sweaty in your cast like that?
vampire plus Lotus equals happy.
Lotus?
Okay.
Okay, so let's
that's
take a
great.
look.
We have the Navarus Lotus skin.
So for those
here.
of you that have been playing Warframe through a lot of our Halloween events, the Lotus sometimes looks like a vampire. She has blood on her face. Her skin turns this ghoulish blue. So we'll have a Navarus Lotus skin that will have the blood detail there. So you could permanently have Navarus Lotus
There
as a
you go.
skin.
So just taking a question from Chad, I know that we're not doing that. Rebecca, why are you like this?
Let me just pull off my thinking cap.
Oh no, there's
we have,
more?
We have more notes for the
Oh
stream.
God,
Okay.
oh
All right,
no,
friends.
I'm sorry I asked.
It's currently almost
Sorry, I
2:30, so
asked.
we're gonna just
Okay,
move
accelerate,
right along
accelerate.
here. All right, it's time for what you have all been waiting for, and that is to talk about the update, Abyss of Dagoth. Rev, what do you got?
This is Abyss of Dagoth.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Dagoth.
Can anyone even read that?
I can.
Really?
That's all.
Not really.
Very well. All right, we're going to get into everything that Abyss of Dagoth is bringing. That includes, the new Warframe, our 54th Warframe. That includes all of the quality of life. That includes everything in between. So are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, update. This is update 34. It's a full number update. There is a lot. We are going to walk you through all the content that's coming this October for Warframe.
Let's start. Danny, jump on in, shall we? Yeah. We love to see it. All right, here she is.
Dagoth.
Oh.
Dagoth?
Dagoth?
You choose.
Now, in my hat of many ideas, one of my creative direction highlights in my career so far was there was a debate. Should we keep her thighs thick? And of course, I had to settle this dispute in base camp in an official capacity by saying, keep the big thighs. So that was a very exciting career highlight for me.
Good.
Okay, right to HR with that one.
I think it's important.
All right, so here we have Dagoth in her default thick thigh form. She's coming with 2 idle animations. This is one of them. She has no face. It's very exciting. She will also be coming with an alternate helmet. This is the, I'm going to say it wrong, Gansian.
Oh, that's actually.
It is
Sorry?
stunning.
Yep.
If
Stunning
you ever
work.
wanted to be a unicorn, no brainer.
Oh.
I'm trying to rival you.
No brainer. That's pretty good.
Wow.
And this is
Yeah.
their alternate helmet that will be coming with the update as well. This ephemera is a tease for something later. Stay tuned for that.
Very cool, sort of witchy, blind witchy vibes. Love that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about her themes and stuff once we get a look for her, but
Yep.
Megan has a lot to show us with her customizations.
cool.
I did a little bit of fashion frame. Jeff, what do we think?
So far, so
So
good.
far, you're.
Well, the
kind
first
of-
two were
you're
neutral.
Being pretty restrained.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
impressed,
Yep,
actually. Like,
yep.
so far.
So far.
I told you earlier, I had some good stuff for
I know
you.
you did.
Well,
You're
this one.
confident. Yeah, you're.
It
kinda
still
keeping
works.
With the
it-
new bat
Yeah.
sign Dana.
Oh, yeah, that is a
keeping things
winner.
tasteful right
That
now, I
is
know.
a winner.
All right, don't do E then.
Okay,
You're
but
gonna
don't
make
do
it-
E.
You're on a streak.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's actually pretty good.
I tried to make her look like a horse. She's got her tail, she's got her mane, she's a unicorn. Come on, Jeff.
Now I have to interject here. Skyers, who sculpted and converted to goth from the male concept to a female frame,
Cool, yeah.
provided some screenshots as well for a more artistic approach to some fashion frames. So Danny, the first one is like
Ouch.
the Skyers special,
Pretty brutal to you, isn't it?
pretty cool,
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
looking
Nice
like
pose.
Yeah.
yeah. And then because de
I'm
goth,
nervous about where this is going.
you'll see. Do it, Danny. Because she's like the head. She is inspired by a lot.
Horseman.
Yeah, and of course the Dullahan
actually pretty cool.
helmet will be coming back, so you can have your headless horseman.
Skyers. I can't compete with you, Skyers. I don't even try. Anyways, so to Goth, our 54th Warframe. We are going to do a little bit of gameplay in a minute that will feature her brand new signature blade and whip, the Door Clave.
Clave.
Damn it.
Doorclave.
Doorclave. The Doorclave. And it does have, you can screenshot that if you wish. We're going to talk a little bit later about its special trait.
Cool.
Back to that.
In the quality of life section of this update, but we're going to just skip over that for a moment. And we're going to go right into some gameplay.
Yeah, so with Dagoth, or Dagoth, we really wanted to try and do a seasonal theme, but with obviously a permanent Warframe. And you're like, she's part of the game. So we wanted to look for some references we had from some of Keith's work for something that really felt horror, and we found his Ichabod
I'm
sketch.
sure it was really hard to find.
Yeah, I know. All this stuff is so not body horror. So we found this original concept back that we showed you at TennoCon.
I love this concept.
yeah, and then-
I'm so glad it's made.
Then we created Dagoth. And what was really important, I think, for, as we get through her abilities, is the idea of an undead vengeance, curses, and a lot of for her abilities. We wanted, well, you'll see her ultimate may or may not incorporate a assault of caves, because her lore is all going to be given to you in the context of a Nabarus tale, which we'll talk about a bit after. Ooh. But you'll get to see some of that. But for Dagoth, her first ability is Word Sights. This is a radial from you. You're getting these kind of spectral sides that will target enemies. So you can see here, you can cast it. You'll get a big spin of those word sides, dealing damage, targeting enemies, and then flying off. So this is kind of your initial damage burst with her, where you'll be getting those word sides.
And giving viral.
And viral damage type, yes.
Cool.
Now, her kit is really focusing around, which will shock you. We have never used an ability called Doom before in Warframe. So her first ability is Word Sights. It's doing viral damage. It's cleaning areas around Dagoth, and then off you go to target enemies. But once you cast Doom, it's going to be a cone in front of Dagoth, and it's cursing enemies. So these enemies are doomed. The curse lasts a duration. And these cursed enemies get what we're calling the Phantom Wrath curse. So she has a cone in front of her. She's hitting enemies with Doom. If you hit your your Word Scythe on them, it'll do additional damage. It'll do more instances of that Phantom Wrath curse, which creates this sickle over their head that does additional damage instances. So once you see that sickle above their head on those doomed enemies, as you're hitting them with their Word Scythe, you're really going to be spreading a curse and delivering continued damage in the form of Doom and in the form of that Word Scythe. Oh, we got some enemies up here. Just like Hades, hey! Curses are for the Tenno. Then we have Grave Spirit, which is kind of her damage buff and survivability ability. So Megan, if you've pressed 3, you have your Grave Spirit on. If you die while this is active,
I'm trying to die.
So Megan has died. She's now taking a spectral form, which is a instance in where you're kind of truly a Grave Spirit. This has a timer, and then once this wears down, you will have this ability on cooldown. So this is very much a, while you have it active, if you were to face death, you will enter this Grave Spirit realm, and then you'll come back, and then that ability's on cooldown. However, with Grave Spirit, you get crit damage buffs. So you are doing increased critical when you have it active, and if you're hitting enemies with that Phantom Wrath Curse, which is achieved via the Doom ability, it's that big build synergy. So you want to doom them. You want to have your 3 up, which is called Grave Spirit, and you're just kind of going to be cycling through, keeping that active, doing more crit, cursing enemies with the Doom, and then your 1 is obviously going to cascade damage in all that rotation. And now for the ultimate.
You ready?
Well, I don't know. Do we need a quick recap of all the abilities so far? If you press 1, you'll get your word sights. Press 2, and then you'll do your Doom, which will do the curse, and then 3 is your crits are now enhanced. And if you attack people that have that curse on them, you'll do additional crit damage. And of course, in this state, if you die, you'll enter the Phantom, the Spirit Grave realm. And then the ultimate, this is based on her lore that you'll learn from Grandmother. This is called Rakali's Cavalry, which, why don't you just hit it up? Summon a charge of caves. Rakali was Dagoth's loyal companion. You'll learn about her.
Cool.
Actually, why don't you hop on?
Oh, why don't I?
Yeah. As you know, in open worlds, you can, Yeah, so this is her custom cave cosmetics that Rakali had adorned on her. So currently, Megan's cave has these cosmetics, which you'll see will be Rakali's. So what to say? There's a lot of damage multipliers here if you're using synergies of that Doom Curse on enemies. When you cast Rakali's Cavalry, if you hit enemies that have that Doom Curse, you're going to be doing defense stripping, you're going to be doing additional damage instances with that Ward Scythe over top. So you're really going to be looking at the battlefield and you're going to be seeing all these enemies. You're going to be charging the cavalry through them to do lots of damage on multiple hits. You're going to be tearing down their defenses. You're going to be spreading that curse, which is really important to the gameplay, is if you kill an enemy while the curse is active, there is a spread mechanic. And yeah, you're just going to be tearing through enemies with this cursed frame, really. Cursed energy.
And the passive?
Oh yes, her passive. We have a name for it, which
Abundant Abyss.
Abundant Abyss. Yeah. So the passive is essentially when you get energy or health drops, there's a chance that they'll be 200% more effective. So you're kind of increasing the yield of what the enemies are leaving behind, be it their energy or their life essence in a health orb. So those pickups will have a chance to just be much, much stronger. So similar if you're using things like Arcane, I think it's Arcane Pulse or Arcane Energize, you'll be able to get us just a stronger payoff from energy and health orbs. And there is no cooldown on it once it triggers, I think, is our current planning. You can quote me on that, but the quote might be wrong, so then it's your fault if I'm wrong. But yeah, so this is Dagoth.
Yeah, those horses won't. That's just so cool.
Yeah, and then they
There you go.
they disappear back to this Phantom realm.
Back to the Phantom realm.
Yeah.
All right, that's Dagoth.
Yes,
Ta-da!
she is our headliner Warframe coming in the Abyss of Dagoth update.
Dagoth, whatever.
Any questions?
We'll find out.
Dagoth. All right, obviously the biggest question, you just wait.
No,
You just
I
wait.
know.
Oh,
I know.
oh,
I have my cheat
jumping.
sheet. I have my cheat sheet.
The biggest question about Dagoth is, how do I get Dagoth? How do you
You
get it?
haven't said much. Do you want to?
I got a lot to say later.
He's saving his voice for the quality of life. Yeah.
All right. So with Dagoth, we have a two-prong approach. Well, actually three technically, because you can buy her in the market. But for players that want to earn her, there is going to be a combination of kind of giving new content to the original course. You can go to gameplay now, Danny, by the way. Sorry. The core original 6 syndicates are going to have something that we're calling abyssal beacons. This abyssal beacon, right now it's using a placeholder image of a void key, but they're very much inspired by the original void key system back in the day. They're basically treasure maps to a haunted ship that the Grineer foolishly piloted their galleon to what we're calling the abyssal zone. The ship's not doing so well. The syndicates all have members aboard, but you can grab those treasure maps and you can run to Ceres and run these abyssal beacon keys to earn the resource from what we're calling Vein Thorn, which is the thorn of an extinct rose. And
Had to be a rose.
Had to be a
Had to
rose.
be a rose.
Vein Thorn is going to be the resource that you use to build Dagoth and her haunted sanctuary known as Dagoth's Hollow.
A new dojo room.
Yeah, so for the Syndicate Abyssal Beacons, you can key share. If I have one, if I'm playing with 4 friends, we can each, run our maps, quote unquote, run our key shares, and get the. It is a new game mode technically. It's like a twist on Exterminate.
Yeah, it's Exterminate with a couple extra wrinkles.
Yes. Yeah, so you'll be clearing out those ships in the Abyssal Zone to get your Voidthorn, and there will be a Steel Path variant as well that has more, or Vainthorn, sorry, my mistake.
Yep.
Yes, so Dagoth's Hollow is a dojo room that is perhaps a little cursed, perhaps not. So this new space is going to be for your dojos where you'll be able to, first of all, you'll be able to customize your cave outside of the Duviri setting. So if you don't like going into Duviri just to modify your cave, you can do it in Dagoth's Hollow. This place will house, your cave. So this is where your cave will be. There's that. That's her idol animation.
Yeah.
That's actually what caves do when they're in love. Those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yes, they're in a committed relationship. Yes.
So you can go to the Shrine of Dagoth here, and there actually isn't a research step that you have to wait for this time. You'll build the room. You'll have instant access to replicate her blueprints using the resource from the Syndicate missions. So yeah, there's no research wait for this particular room. However, there is a spooky story. So when this launches, you can listen to the shrine to see what grandmother from Deimos might have to say about Dagoth.
How to pronounce it.
How to pronounce it.
Very important thing.
Yeah, the canon pronunciation.
Yeah.
I see. The
amount-
room is really cool too.
Yes.
Just so detailed and interesting.
Yeah, the art team killed it. The idea was we wanted this very spooky room where Dagoth had perhaps been laid to rest, and yeah, they nailed it. And when you hear the story, it's probably one of the darker stories we've ever told in Warframe. So
And you light a candle for every design idea I had that Pablo changes in a quality of life update. Is that how the candle lighting works?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm a spoiler.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yes,
13, 14,
exactly.
15.
Yeah, exactly. Keep lighting them.
Keep lighting them. Get your lighters, fillers. Yeah. So
That's beautiful.
yeah. So this
really
room
cool.
is for
Great vibe.
Great vibe. The sound. Oh yes. The smiling. Perhaps that was once her face.
Ooh.
But where's her brain?
Aw. So sad. Yes, this is all coming, so you'll get some space in your dojo for the room. The resources will be acquired through the Abyssal Beacons, which the Syndicates will offer you, and away you go.
Away you go.
Awesome.
Away we shall
Awesome.
go.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, and a few other little bit things coming in Abyss of Dagoth that are not quality of life related. Void Shell skins! Team has been working hard on getting those Void Shell skins out, and we have 3 coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update. We have We'll go back to Nidus here, shall we? We have a Nidus Void Shell skin coming. Ooh.
Lovely. He's looking much more tech.
Couple boils.
Oh god.
Nice, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Obviously,
A
mutation.
couple boils.
Yep.
We could
Yep.
play with some colors.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't, but okay.
What do you mean? I'm not choosing these.
Wait, that's sick. Yeah.
This
That
is
looks
the
so
game.
good.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All
Look at
right.
that. Looking cool, Joker.
Looking cool, Joker.
Looking cool, Joker. Also, we have Mirage is going to be getting one. Not this. Don't
Oh,
look.
God.
Don't,
Oh,
Don't look,
it's
don't
fine,
look.
it's
Oh,
fine,
wrong
it's fine.
spot, wrong spot.
My queen.
She'll be getting very disco techy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Disco teca.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Triangle strong.
My eyes
shape.
are up here, yeah.
It's just where my mouse was.
Okay, never mind.
And then we also have Reb's favorite, Protea will be getting a void shell. There she is.
Oh my god, she's so beautiful.
Very.
Hit random. I want to see what happens.
Let's go.
Do you really though?
Yes.
Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know, but the lime though, yeah. Oh,
Wow.
I could do with that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Excellent.
Excellent. Ooh, wow. Anyway, sorry. So 3 void shell skins are coming.
You like this
in
one because it's
update.
Christmassy.
Yeah.
totally.
Look at her. She made Santa. It's a beard.
It's Christmassy for sure.
Santa Claus.
You said that, not me. You said that, not me. So 3 void shell skins coming with Abyss of Dagoth update. All right, let's do a little bit of a recap of what we all just talked about. Danny, hit that slide.
Oh,
My queen.
Get rid of us.
All right.
We're ghouls.
To sum up a bit of Abyss of Dagoth Update 34, obviously our 54th Warframe, Dagoth is coming. New blade and whip, her signature, Door Clave.
You got it.
Nice. Alternate helmet, looking like a unicorn. We got those Kaith cosmetics that you saw. We got Dagoth's Hollow Dojo Room that you're going to want to create to craft her. We got Void Shell skins, Protea Mirage, and Nidus. We got Knights of Navarus coming back. We got lots of Day of the Dead stuff, new Sign Dana that you saw, Sentinel accessories, the Navarus Lotus skin that you saw as well. And then we're going to get into these two last things, which is the big quality of life and reworks, as well as Grendel Prime after that. Yay!
So far, so good.
Should we do a Platinum Prize? I kind of blacked out about that.
We didn't do any.
Sorry,
Might have
Danny.
to do a couple.
Appreciate you. All right, so do we want to... Let's preface this a little bit. There is a lot of quality of life coming in this update. Maybe the most we've ever had.
Ever.
Is that,
So
is that an
cool.
accurate
It's
thing
so
to say?
cool.
Confirmed.
Confirmed,
Yep.
most
Confirmed.
we've ever had. We obviously talked about it on 10.0 Live. We went through our little slides beat by beat, and we said we'd deep dive into it, and we are going to dive deep, my friends.
Yeah, Telocon, I did the 2-minute version. This is the 2-hour version.
Yeah. Exactly. 1,000 Platinum is going to... Can you read that, Jeff?
Uranos.
Underscore XI.
All right, you did it. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now. In-game alias, platform play Warframe on. It will get you your 1,000
Close.
platinum.
It was close.
That was, you,
Close.
you just pulled
I
it out of
know,
the
I
fire
made sure
there.
to-
What do you mean?
Aunos.
It could have been.
Make sure to emphasize the oaths.
Just go aus on that.
Very
yeah.
well.
Yep.
All right, it is now time for the quality of life section of this update. Strap in, strap on. First of all, one of the most important... What happens in Vegas? I'm just kidding.
This is like a TennoCon.
It's like TennoCon all over
Here's
again.
my big box.
One of the big
Strap on.
things, quality of life-wise per se, is deferred rendering.
Yes, well, I don't know if we said the date yet, but in October, the consoles that we support, our beloved console folks, are actually all going to be bumped to deferred-only renderers, which means the classic renderer will no longer be a thing on consoles.
That's right.
Nintendo Switch, all our Xbox and PlayStation SKUs are all going to be supporting deferred. This is obviously hugely important, especially with our Whispers in the Walls graphical plans. You know that GI lighting only works in deferred. So this is when the switch is going to be made. The Goth update is going to be a renderer unification for all our consoles.
Yes.
No pressure, right,
Are you
Steve?
asking me to comment on that?
Any comments?
I just kind of learned this a bit ago. But yeah, the gorgeous TennoCon demo for Warframe is using the enhanced renderer, and it's also using a new lighting system that does not work in the old stuff. And so and it's going to be rolled out on Switch as well. I saw Switch RIP, but no, it's going to be rolling out there as well. And the great thing, I think, for our artists, there's a lot of cool features that they can use, and they have been using since Angels of Zeraman, that Classic can't see. There's a very amazing decal system or decal system that they can't use in Classic. So. As well as that new GI volume lighting system. So this is kind of important for us, and I apologize for any pain. Obviously, like I always say in the old days, if we mess it up, we'll make it right, but it's an important step. It's going to literally cut in half the amount of shaders and tech art maintenance that we have to do for our game. So that's going to be really good for raising the quality for the game, and lets our artists focus more on kind of one spec. And there's even stuff in Duviri, how rocks blended into terrain. You don't see that stuff in Classic, so it's really important for us to get into this kind of one unified rendering framework for all our platforms.
And we don't have a date yet, but that does mean the PC Classic will also eventually be retired.
That's right.
It's not happening in this update, but it'll probably be pretty soon. We'll have to see.
It has to be before the next.
Yeah, it has to be before Whispers in the Walls. It's going to be soon.
We don't have a choice because Whispers in the Walls is built completely on this new stuff.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, if you're technically minded, it's kind of like bye-bye light maps in that particular tile set, and then eventually rolling out to the larger game. And what I think, if you look at the TennoCon demo, at least through my eyes, you see that the characters and the environment and the moving objects all just are completely consistently lit from the same data. You have this stuff like in the things that drive me crazy, like you're going through the Corpus set and the doors look like they're kind of like unlit, and it's just like the characters don't seem to match the environment. This is going to be a real big boost, particularly for that art set, and then we have to roll it out further.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of date, I kind of forgot and glossed over this, but Abyss of Dagoth update is coming October 18th. So everything, this quality of life that we're about to show you, not that, but this quality of life that we're about to show you, October 18th, Dagoth, all this stuff, Grendel Prime, we're going to get into it. And the first bit of quality of life we shall tackle is
Companions.
companion rework.
Hold X to revive your mom.
Very well. We have a lovely slide, or your internet,
That's what people name their pets.
Your mom.
or your internet, my internet. It's good times. No more will you have that. So essentially, this is going to be our first round of companion rework changes. We are going to do a part 2 that will look at abilities. Smida will be part 2.
Yeah, basically the first kind of pain point that we had with companions is they were dead all the time.
And that caused a lot of pain.
So that's kind of the first thing that that we had to address. You know, obviously, particularly with Sentinels that just never came back except for Dujin. With them in particular, they became kind of useless on Steel Path because they would just die in the first minute of the mission and then never come back. And then for the companions that you could, it was really, it left a really bad flavor of mouth to just have like the dog for someone else be dying all the time, and you would just see whoever has died, whoever has died. And so it was really something that just wasn't working. So basically what we did is they don't die anymore, they just go incapacitated, which basically means they're disabled for a certain period of time. So you still don't want them to die, so you still want to put on survivability mods and all of that. But if they do, then they're just incapacitated, and after a little bit, they come back. You can also accelerate that period of how long they take to come back to doing certain actions and stuff. We have some mods. I don't know if we're going to show.
Yeah,
Bond
we have the bond mod. Sorry, Danny, I'm skipping one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so those are some examples. There's 14 of these mods, I think, 14 new mods like this, and they basically give. We don't want mods that are just about reviving the pets because then it feels like a wasted slot to invest just on dying. Like that doesn't feel fun. So all of these have like a secondary effect, and all of the ones we have some other secondary effect that is beneficial besides just the reviving. Beyond the fact that they cannot die, we also enhance their EHP considerably. It varies depending on which of the pets it is, but around 50% more EHP in general is kind of where they landed. Some needed more help than others. Some of them were even more squishy, so they'll get I think there's some Sentinels that have like 90% or even 100%.
Danny,
so
we do have Oh, she knows. She got it.
Yeah, so this is one example for the Raxa. You can see the no mods to the new mods. With no mods, it increased by 71%, the EHP itself. But even with max mod, it's 72%. Again, it really depends on which of the pets. We have way too many. But, just to give you like an example of the sorts of things that happened with increasing the armor, increasing the shields. Later on, we'll talk about other changes to shields that also affect this. But yeah, those are basically the first things that we kind of address. So they no longer die, they just go incapacitated. They now have much more EHP. There's a bunch of utility mods related to them being incapacitated and also adding some utility. Now, next year we want to do a second pass, Nerf Charm, and then in that one, we're going to revise like all the abilities and the utility in Nerf Charm. And then we're going to anyways, we're going to do that. We definitely want to do that part. We know that even once they don't die, we know they're still really uneven. So we will revise that next year. But first we need them to not die to kind of see where things settle, and then we'll work on that second part. But know that part is coming.
Yes.
Can I see the clone mod again? I'm a little concerned.
Why?
How stacking does it work?
Clone mod?
Yeah, there's a
Oh, the duplex.
Yeah, the duplex
sorry.
bond.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Hey, now the values might change. This
Okay.
is,
Yeah, this is all
this is just this is off the fly. This is just Devville. You're fine.
You literally have a cloned deer on your shirt. How can you be?
Yeah, but it's only 2.
Also about companion rework, all these other quality of life stuff that we are working on, we do have dev workshops that are going to go live. We have basically 5 buckets of quality of life stuff that we've put together. Companion rework, Hydroid rework, we'll get into the rest. And as we're talking about them, they're going to go live in the forums. So if we've reached the end of our companion section.
Just a couple of mini
Very
notes.
well.
Basically, there's some updates to how the pets appear in the HUD, just kind of to keep you more informed of what's going on with them. And then a few other mods. Besides the new mods, we also touched up a few of the older mods that we just kind of had to along the
We
way.
have gone through comprehensively things like spare parts, you know, prime regen, all those things. The dev workshop that Megan referred to, that should be live any minute now, we'll have it all in there.
Yes.
So if you want our overview, we just gave it to you. If you want to read the nitty gritty, it is all there for you. Every mod's interpretation within this new system.
That's right.
And thank you to the team who worked on that QOL bucket 1. We do have 4 more buckets to go, but this was a big one. Huge thanks to the team.
We only got 10 minutes left.
What happens with the vacuum when they're incapacitated?
While they're incapacitated, I'm not sure. So I imagine it disables because we disable a few other things,
Okay.
but I'd have to verify.
You're acting like a real Warframe player now. First thing you do is act about
It's like live chat over here. If you would like a link to the companion rework, like we mentioned, the dev workshop, you can do !companion in Twitch chat. It will take you to
I
the...
saw a couple times the same question that I really need to address. I am wearing pants. just to be clear, there are pants. Okay? just make it clear.
It's got your calicos on.
It's the Pablo show today. He's embracing it.
I thought you were being so serious.
Pablo's dying from listening to Rebecca laugh. Oh, my God.
Basically, I'm like contagious laughter.
We might have to revive them.
Oh my God.
All right, are we ready for Hydroid rework, everybody?
Yes.
Woo, the cheers, the crowd goes wild.
Sloshy,
Tenocon audience screams, takes their pants off.
That's right.
Pablo started the trend.
Oh my God.
Take your pants off for the Hydroid rework, because
All right.
things are about to get tentacly.
No. All right,
Okay.
so Pablo.
Do you regret coming back?
Not at all.
I'm here for it.
So we have a lovely slide, just kind of going over very briefly what it is. Obviously,
Okay.
we're going to do live Hydroid rework gameplay. I don't know if we want to just go in, talk about it as we play. Do we want to just kind of surface level talk about
Yeah, I
it?
guess we can play and I can just
Yeah.
rant. I mean,
We'll come back to the slide.
a lot of what you're going to see, so I'm just basically going to kind of tell you what changed. So the passive used to be, you did the slam dunk into the ground and then a tentacle came out. It wasn't very useful because generally if you pinpointed a hit directly with the slam, you probably killed the unit or you knocked it away. So it wasn't exactly a very beloved passive. So we changed it and we went for the theme of the corrosive waters of Neptune.
Briny, salty seas, lad.
That's
where
it,
the
that's it.
ships will rust.
Captain Ahab over here. Wow.
So basically, he now enhances corrosive. So basically, whenever he damages an enemy by any means, they are now more vulnerable to corrosive in general. So the first stack that gets applied to them removes 50% armor instead of the usual 24. What that means is that if you get corrosive all the way up to 10 stacks, you now strip armor entirely. And he has many means to apply corrosive, so you'll see soon that he can really deliver those stacks. So his one, the first change we made to his one is it used to be impact damage, which didn't love, so now it's corrosive because now we have like a pretty, you can see the little icon on top of their heads. That basically means that they're vulnerable to corrosive, and any corrosive stacks will basically, they don't have to be from you, they can be from anything, can be from your weapons, your abilities, it can be from other allies, doesn't matter, whatever it is, you basically applied it to them. The one used to like knock enemies around, so it was really hard to shoot them because essentially the ability kind of pushed them all over the place. So now it just staggers them, so they kind of stay in place. They still move a little bit because otherwise it really loses the kind of the punch. But now it's they kind of stay in the same range. These guys are a little too weak to really show.
I'm just a strong girl.
There's that too. Yeah, so I think those are, well, the mention is the one.
It doesn't have charge anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a little detail. The charge is gone. The values for normal cast are essentially the same as what used to be the max charge. So you basically get that now from the get-go. Then from his 2, you can see the water thing.
The water thing?
Yeah, the little water wave.
Oh.
Tidal
Surge.
Surge. Yeah, for tidal surge, we basically changed it so it kind of grabs enemies better. Before it just kind of knocked them around. Again, kind of like the one, it just spread enemies around, which generally is not what you want. So now it kind of gathers them with you and takes them on a ride. These guys might be a little too weak for you to
Yeah, if they die,
actually-
they just obviously die in my little tidal surge. But
So
they
you're gonna
survive,
see-
they come with me.
Trust that they travel with you whenever they survive. There you go. So they're
Or
basically-
die.
Yep.
Survive or die.
As they travel with you, you're also applying corrosive to them. So basically, they get even more stacks. So basically, if you grab a bunch of enemies, you deliver it at the end. They're right there in the floor with a bunch of corrosive stacks for you to devastate them. We did a few things with the timing of it. Essentially, before the speed of the wave changed based on duration. We removed that, but we increased the base speed. It was very hard to control, and it caused too many issues to have it kind of be volatile. Like you could end up with really slow waves that didn't feel good. So we changed that. So now it's a constant speed, but it's higher speed than what it was in the original. And also now the status clear that used to be in the augment, the one for you is now by default. The augment now only does the status clear for others, which, and it does the cost reduction thing as well, if you still want that. And then a second of silence.
For
the
Undertow! R.I.P. Undertow!
Burial at sea. Walk the plank.
I loved Puddle. I will be a Puddle lover till the day I die. Bury me in that puddle.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sad.
So,
but I
okay, so
understand.
Undertow.
Undertow is gone.
She
Rip
gone.
Undertow.
But what do we got instead, Pablo?
Yeah, so I mean, just to kind of give you like a brief, I think everyone knows why it went. Essentially,
I don't.
being a stationary,
Why did it go?
being a stationary puddle doesn't really match the game at all. Essentially, you have to be in like a place.
Ambushed by puddle?
We did try changing the puddle to a castable thing where you were not the puddle, but then the problem is enemies would not walk into the puddle. So you needed to then get a second tool to drag enemies into the puddle, and it just got really messy. In general, we also don't love enemy denial, which is basically hiding enemies from other players, because it just makes the game more boring for them. So yeah, in general, like the puddle just was not working, so we changed it.
Can we get an F in chat for Puddle?
I don't see any Fs, but I did see someone say it wasn't stationary. That is true. You could move at like 1 meter per second. That is my bad.
If anyone's going to get you on a technicality, it's Twitch chat.
Yeah,
So
There we go.
Speak with
We're getting a lot of Fs in chat now. It just took a bit.
So the new ability, basically, any enemies in your view, you can plunder their armor and basically steal it for yourself.
Cool.
This scales based on how many enemies there are and also how many corrosive stats they have. So if you're spreading corrosive all over the place, then you plunder the armor and you end up with a bunch of armor and a bunch of...
I like how you made it a theme by calling it
thunder.
Thunder,
And then, okay, so look at the icon. You can see that Megan set up a group of enemies there. She hit them with some corrosive stacks with her Tempest Barrage, and then boom, the armor was plundered. And this is a survivability ability for our
Yeah,
boy.
so right now, I mean, I think she did it on just a few enemies, but she has 518 armor. You can see there on the upper right, on the lower right, sorry. And 130% corrosive damage added to all your attacks. So you get both of those. You get like a half offensive, half defensive. depending on how many enemies you target, and and it scales again from any corrosive stacks, which you can apply with a 1, you can apply with a 2, and you can apply with a 4, which we'll look at in a moment. Actually, there's a bunch of enemies around
Shall we
here.
tentacle?
Yeah. So
Yeah, try and get. Yeah.
So the tentacle, one of the weird things about it is it used to do magnetic damage, which I found strange. So now it's corrosive, just to go themed with everything else. And instead of flapping the enemies around, which I know a lot of people really dislike because similar to what I mentioned for 1 and 2, it just makes it harder for you to shoot them. Now it just kind of holds them in very awkward positions, as you can see. In very compromising positions for you to
I think
shoot.
I tried that in a yoga class.
Oh my god.
So now it holds them. It's applying the corrosive still.
It looks cool.
There's been some reanimation to the they reanimations.
Yeah. The new stuff looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to change a lot of things there to kind of make this working the way we wanted. It used to scale, now it shifts. There's a whole bunch of...
Cool.
This one had a lot of technical stuff to get sorted, but it basically means that now it really holds enemies in place. Also, if there's available tentacles and enemies enter the zone, the tentacle will kind of go out and grab them so that you can kind of keep it sort of going. It's not just on the first burst to grab them. You just can grab them over time now. And as you see, it's applying corrosive, and it's doing the maximum damage, because again, it doesn't have the charge anymore, so you don't have to hold and charge to get it going.
Tentacle swarm is no longer held, so all that has been removed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the one thing I forgot to mention on the 1 is that the old Dogman used to give corrosive. Now obviously it gives corrosive by default, so the new one gives viral, which obviously, if you combine both things, it is quite it's quite crazy, but it works.
Yar.
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 An augment for the 3 heals, which used to heal by people standing on the puddle, which no one did. Now, since it's when you cast the ability, it heals you and it heals your allies in affinity range.
Puddle play is dead.
Puddle play.
Dead puddles.
Hydroid. Rework.
There it is. There
Dev
you have it.
Workshop's now live.
Exclamation point.
Yep.
Hydroid in
Yep.
Twitch chat if you would like a link to the Hydroid rework. There is more in depth. We got GIFs. We got more information about augments, all that nitty gritty stuff in the Dev Workshop.
And if
Pablo.
you could just redo the Prime trailer for Hydroid so that it doesn't start with a
that's
puddle.
mean.
Oh,
That is
We're gonna need to read.
I don't think we put puddle in it.
You did. The beginning is they're like floating in his puddle
You're
state.
right.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
redo.
Maybe they just- That was one we struggled to get out,
More
if I
work for
recall.
Yeah, that one.
I was out of it.
Wasn't that the one that you made like a fake version of it?
That's right, the joke one. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
narrated
Didn't
it.
Stallard write the VO for it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good times, good times.
I still got trolled at TennoCon about the Hydro.
Like people came up to you and were like,
Well,
so good.
there you go.
can never live it down.
Giveaway.
Oh yeah.
1,000 platinum?
Should we give some plat away?
Let's give some plat away. Let's
Yep.
check in. It's currently 2 minutes after 3.
We're going a bit longer.
Yeah, I think we only have about 30 minutes left. I think we can
Cool.
do it. I think we can do it.
As we have one of the bigger
try
ones
to
going
rant
out.
as much as I can.
All right,
There's only like
1,000
20
platinum.
more things in my list.
We can do it.
Going to a lucky viewer by the name of, I can't read that, Jeff.
Boses_Etwas.
Congratulations,
Was
you've
his
won.
name,
Yeah, that was the other one. Make us
Congratulations, you've won 1,000 platinum. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching it right now with your in-game alias platform play Warframe on, and we'll get you 1,000 platinum. Congratulations. All right, we're now going to move on to the new player experience changes. QOL. Hit that slide, Danny. Appreciate you. All right, hit it from the top,
I think
Reb.
this one we'll just go through pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just under the, generally the philosophy with this is there are some rough edges around that new player experience.
Nope.
No, there's none.
Nope.
And this is basically a treatment pass on some things that we thought we could resolve fairly quickly in the QOL update. We wanted to make sure that we really were comprehensive with this QOL update. Therefore, we got some things for y'all. For the first up new players, flawed mods are just no longer a part of progression. So the idea that you're earning this broken mod is...
Nope.
What?
No.
I wish you split that point, because that has caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
So
But
MK1 weapons are not removed, because
No.
I just saw another
Well,
one.
no, MK1 weapons are removed from Vor's Prize as a weapon you pick. They're still in the market for credits.
They'll still be in your
I'll
inventory.
keep
They're
my
not going
100
anywhere.
Forma MK1 Brad.
Oh,
Yeah,
keep it.
they're ripping it out.
MK1, come on.
Those aren't going away.
They
Oh,
actually
boy.
exist.
They're just, when a player installs Warframe after this update, when they're picking their weapons and Lotus is like, pick your secondary, pick your melee. There's no
Is that
such
how she sounds?
kind of. A little.
Maybe you should recast all
Valley
the
Girl
rest of
Lotus
this
coming
quality of
back.
life changes.
Oh my God. We have our own boo squad here. In short, the weapons a player chooses will be the bow and the Bratton, no longer Mark 1. They will still be in the market for credits and you will still have yours, no problem. Flawed mods, however, will be removed and exchanged for the
The real ones.
with some rank adjustments at the lower levels so players can actually use them early on. The only flawed mod that's not going away is the April Fool's ammo drum.
If you got that one, you keep that one.
You keep
More in the dev workshop if you want more details. Early game inbox and junction adjustments. This is just a matter of the grind to progress. Some of our junction tasks were, pick up 20 mods, just some things that felt a little like if you've done it once, you know how to do it, so don't make you do it 20 times. So we've gotten rid of some of the quota junction tasks, let's say, where you have to do 20 of the same thing, and replaced it entirely with a quest-based one. So we want you to play Saya's Vigil before you progress, so you can meet the Ostrons and meet the open world. So we've taken off the sort of to-do lists, and now there is a quest junction task there. Some other management has occurred there. Yes, sir.
So can we keep the broken mods if you already have them and you still have them and just like don't drop them anymore?
Pablo's saying
Are you
no.
converting
No, they
them?
get converted.
no.
Yeah, we had to
Getting a lot
convert
of
them.
text
You
messages.
had to convert them?
Yeah, because otherwise we had to add a screen that you could go to do it or something. And if a player, like a brand
Take your
new,
screenshots real quick.
History.
You're our boss. You tell us what we have to do.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No.
Then we've also added universal enemy radar, which means any player
Cool.
that plays, you will have a 30-meter enemy radar as a built-in function of the game. You don't need to mod or upgrade for that. Obviously, your mods and upgrades will enhance it and make it bigger and better, but just as a default playstyle improvement, especially for new players that don't really know the intricacies of where enemies hide in levels or visibility, it's just there.
Yeah,
And
essentially the game plays better when you can tell where enemies are. So we didn't really want to keep gating that behind what right now is mostly animal instinct, which takes a while for a new player to get to. So we just felt like it was important to have kind of this by default, and then you can make it even larger if you want with animal instinct or whatever.
Yes, and we've reduced some issues with some quests. Wave Rider, the Ureli quest, has a rework. We've gone from 25 challenges to 15. Most of the challenges are actually combat or different input based. We're not going to make you do a ton of tricks. If you cut to Meg's screen, Danny, you can kind of see page unlocks are down, and there's just simply less challenges overall. Some are a bit more combat focused. So the Ureli Wave Rider quest has been reworked in terms of what it asks of you. And then for other quest optimization, the Nata quest will trigger now if you just see an Oculus, because some players don't know that they have to equip the scanner and go scan. Once an Oculus sees you and Lotus reacts, the quest will kick off in earnest.
Oh, that one's actually not.
It's not in?
That one's going to come later.
Okay, I'm a liar.
But we do have a couple for Nata. We're reducing
listen-
the mastery rank requirement.
Don't listen to me at all.
That one's going to come later. We are doing that one. It's just going to come in the subsequent Whispers update.
And Vox Solaris has simply been rebalanced, but maybe not, because sounds like
No, it has.
It has.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Well,
overall difficulty has just been
yeah, a lot of players
reduced.
get stomped in that if they go the core path from Earth to Venus, do Vox Solaris, and then they die and die and die and die and die.
And we have some other just miscellaneous ones. It's all going to be in the dev workshop if you want to check that out. And then Cetus Wisp.
Yeah, so Cetus Wisps run away from you, and players don't know they're there. It's cute. They go up to the sky. They just won't do that anymore. They no longer have the fight or flight reaction. The flight, they've been reprogrammed to love you and wait for you.
Aww.
So Cetus Wisps will no longer flee. That was very confusing for new players. And then the Necromech acquisition changes are actually pretty substantial. The way to earn a necromech has been heavily reliant on RNG, fighting the mechs, they drop the parts, go, go, go. We tried to improve this with our past, where we just inboxed you the blueprints and you would still have to go get the components. So that was step one. It helped. What's going to help a bit more is if we put the pieces on Necroloid for token exchange. So you can actually, it's basically the pity system. If you get enough matrices that you're like, oh, I haven't got the parts yet, you can turn them in to buy them. So we've essentially added the RNG pity system to necromech acquisition for your Void Rig.
There you go.
And that is a quick recap. That was fast.
That's
it for that.
That's beautiful. That's it.
Dev Workshop's live.
Exclamation point, new player. If you'd like a link to that dev workshop with more information about all of those changes. All right, moving right along. Next up, we have accessibility and HUD improvements workshop.
Weird. I thought
Yeah,
this
I don't know, it's a
accessibility
weird
was scheduled for later
Yeah.
update. I don't know why it's coming out so soon. I don't understand.
Now.
Yeah, so enemy highlight, I think that was, generally, I think the visibility of enemies has always been, especially in a very dense and very fast game that we have. For us, we're very used to it, and I'm sure a lot of the players that are actually watching this are super used to it. But we have seen that a lot of people do struggle kind of spotting where enemies are, particularly in some of the tasks where they match a lot the visual of
Dark
the enemy.
grenier with a dark material.
We have an
and
asset.
dark lighting.
We have an asset.
Yeah.
So this is what you would see or not see. Can you find the Grenier?
I can.
Can you find the
I
Grenier?
can. It's easy.
Maybe he's in a puddle somewhere.
Maybe it's stuck under a puddle. So with the new enemy highlighting system, bam! You can see it. And allies. You can see yourself and your allies.
Yeah, you can select to turn it on enemies, on allies, and even on yourself. And you can tweak the color and the intensity on yourself and on allies.
Can you go to my gameplay real quick, Danny?
Oh, so you can highlight yourself.
Yeah,
and
this is really meant for
allies.
those that
Cool.
have, a real hard time seeing these games. A lot of people at TennoCon came up and said, this is one, like, they're vision impaired, and they were hoping for more in this
Oh,
department.
cool.
Honestly, like even for me, just
nice.
trying it with like a low intensity, just a tiny bit to help
Yeah.
on some of the darker facets, I found
Makes
to
a big
be-
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And you can choose if you wanted to highlight yourself or not, just so you're excluded from that if you don't want to be your own ally.
Yeah, I'm my own biggest saboteur. So.
Yeah, well, given your limbo history.
Anyways,
Don't look at me like that. I was scared.
You had it won. You couldn't quit.
couldn't quit. Conservation.
Speak your left.
Conservation improvements. We have a couple images for this.
We
I
sure
believe,
do, Pablo.
Made the trail harder to see.
Yes.
'cause there's quite a bit of things here.
We got icons on the map.
Yep.
This is obviously what you currently see in game now. It's a bit. What
It's a
are we
bit
looking
much.
at here? We got some paw prints.
We
They're
need
all
some
the
more
same.
icons.
Yeah.
Let's add
more.
With a
Yeah, so
highlight
the
around each.
current one adds an icon for each conservation spot, and they're all the same.
Yeah.
So the new one makes different icons for each animal type, and only shows you the nearest one of each type, so it doesn't get as crazy. Also, once you're looking at them in the map, you can actually in the interactive map, you can click on one and it'll get marked so that you can go wherever it is. So
Yeah.
that
It's really helpful because you can I can click like for Mink and then I can portal to like the teleporter and then
Yeah.
it's still in like a waypoint. I'm like, oh, I can just go my 200 meters over there.
People are
It's
saying,
super
didn't you
helpful.
already do this? Isn't this live?
that is not like.
Well, this is out already.
Part
To be
of it
clear,
is, part of it
part
is.
of it is.
Part of it is out, yeah.
The deep dive is not.
Yes. Yeah. We put out like a little bit early, and then now we're doing like the full scope of
Yep.
conservation updates. Speaking of, we have the trails. Better
Yeah,
looking
so
trails.
the trails for the footprints, that's how it was before, so this is how it looks on live. And you can see the first couple footprints there, but as soon as it goes into the grass, it becomes impossible to see. I think of all the things, this is the main thing that people complain about. So if we look at the new version, it is
Wow.
significantly more visible, so you can track them quite a bit easier.
And all we had to do was inject the animals with radioactive goo.
That's all
and
it took.
Not the goo.
radioactive
Wow.
goo.
A couple things
Consigned
we
to the
don't
Lotus.
have images for. We have visual feedback when you get a roar success, and that's mostly for anyone that's hearing impaired, so that you actually don't have to like listen to the roar. You have some backup there that you can look at.
Cool.
We have when you with your scope, you can actually see a little blink for the general direction that animals are in. It doesn't mark them directly, but at least you know which direction to turn to look. So basically, you don't have to kind of just guess based on the sound. And there's a bunch of other little changes here and there for that, but those are overall the main things for conservation.
So, okay, but what if I broke my arm and I want to still play
Well,
Warframe?
we have auto melee coming to Warframe.
Oh.
So for the longest, since the dawn of time,
Coincidence.
since the dawn of time, man has yearned to harness the power of Warframe's melee. And with all of the amazing animation work that has happened in all our combos, players have been able to spam the melee button to achieve forward combos, neutral combos, any number of things. So Meg, go ahead and spam that E button. Danny, come over to gameplay. Look at her go.
Oh, look at me go.
Look at her go.
Oh, I'm amazing.
Now,
I'm amazing.
what if you just held E?
Wrist is broken.
What if I just held E?
What if you just held?
Oh, let me just take a sip.
So-
of mine.
Auto. Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
auto melee is as simple as it's just a feature in the game by default. You can choose to hold or you can choose to sequence steps. It is up to you.
Cool.
If you want to hold. If you don't, don't. There's like one or two caveats. I think glaives are exempt from this and the wolf sledge because they have the ranged combos. So
Throw stuff.
yeah, so you can, someone perhaps only with one workable gaming arm could just
Wow.
hit E. That's it. That's auto melee.
That's it.
Yeah,
And it
as I
comes with 3
mentioned,
stick
I'm
knives.
pretty sure I mentioned this on TennoCon. There is another feature we're adding to kind of like a little extra wrinkle to this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it polished properly on time, so we're actually going to hold out a melee back, but I would ask me why we decided to push it ahead. So it feels so. There is a little bit more that's going to come on the December update, but we'll talk about that when we're closing.
Yeah.
But just know that there is one more thing, because I know a lot of people are going to say, "Well, now I'm."
Are you talking about perfect heavy attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not till later in the year. We separated this from that just so we could get auto melee out sooner.
Well, it's good to get it in front of players who might, have a broken arm, so that they can play the game on live. Yeah.
What a world we live in. Auto melee is here. All right, and last but not least in this quality of life section, we've just updated the new update history screen.
Yes.
Hold on, Danny, don't do it yet, don't do it yet, don't do it yet,
Don't
don't
do
do
it
it
yet,
yet,
don't
don't
do
do
it
it
yet,
yet,
don't
don't
do
do
it
it
yet.
yet, don't do it yet. Here we go. All right, when you log into Warframe for the first time, when an update pops, you get a little screen with your Warframe kneeling there with a big old wall of text that we do write ourselves, so please appreciate
Please
that.
read it.
Please read it. We do write that, and it is honestly just a wall of text that tries its best to summarize the update in as many less bullet points as it possibly can. But now we've updated the history screen to really show you way better at a glance, give you options to really navigate. You can go to the patch notes, you can go to the market. It's really just much better.
Yeah, I'm a believer that generally no one reads. So I think just showing cool images and just having like the items there and just bullet points. I hear even presidents really like bullet points. So you can just like look at the things and just click on them and get kind of information there for all the different things. Also, this screen actually has history. So that means when you come in 2 years, you can click on it and still see every major update when we released, and you can see everything that we changed.
And because Pablo's a believer that no one reads, if you want to read more about all this, check out our dev workshop. Just live.
Exclamation point, accessibility.
Yeah, just go read about it in the dev workshop. You'll love it. You'll love it. Our team spent so long writing them, so you can spend a long
good.
time reading them.
People read, but when you sign in, I think you want to
Oh yeah, you get
in
excited.
there. You want to get in
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
I get it.
People can
I'm not
read
mad.
some of
I'm
them.
not mad.
As you can see, we put platinum items on that page, so you can just buy those cosmetics.
Who needs to read when you can just
right
shop?
when you log in.
Who needs to read?
We appreciate it.
We don't get fed if you don't buy them. They haven't let me leave the office since 10
You gotta
o'clock.
pay
You
your.
can't fix her arm unless
That's
you.
right.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
All right, that is the end of the accessibility quality of life workshop. We're going to move into one of the heftier ones.
Are we going to do the HUD stuff? Are you going to do the HUD icon things?
Oh,
Isn't
did I
that
miss
fun?
that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Keep me honest.
There's a really good thing coming in the
I'm
accessibility.
so sorry. Buffs and debuffs in the pause menu, Pablo.
Okay, I want us to walk through an Octavia player's life.
Yes.
You're Octavia. You're buffing your allies. You're dancing your heart out. You are hitting those BPMs. You are grinding. You are grooving. Your squad mates look over at you and say, "What the hell are all these icons?" You go back to your ship. You cry some more.
Yeah, so no, just
Great
move right
setup.
along.
Great setup.
Yeah, basically we have a whole bunch of buffs. In fact, we checked and it's over 900 of them. So basically,
I couldn't believe that when I was watching it. I was like, no, 900.
What have we done?
Yep.
yeah, so there's a lot of icons that often it's very hard to know what they are, especially if you're just starting the game and you're just seeing like little symbols appear, you don't know what they are. So now you can essentially press escape and they'll stay there, so you can hover and kind of understand what they are. Now, as I said, we have 900, so they all have names because they've always had names, but descriptions we're going to fill over time.
You can see the PH. They're working in progress, okay? Helen's got 900 to do. Leave her alone. Let her do her
By
thing.
like 850, it's gonna be like, please stop this.
Yeah.
Hell. This buff does nothing.
Yeah.
Delete it.
More shield, less shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna take us a while to go through all of them. This is so in this update you can expect to see icons and names, so at least it gives you some reference of what is it that you're looking
I
at.
hope it's coder names. More damage.
Damatron.
Damatron.
But descriptions we will fill over a longish time.
There you go. All right. Also in accessibility that I missed, so sorry, is, and we talked about this earlier, was the weapon trait displays and upgrades. So Danny, if you'd like to go to my game, please and thank you. Our example today is the new door clave. Damn it. The new door clave.
Every other attempt you get it.
Oh my God. Obviously, the description exists here, and it has a bit of a passive effect to it. But it would be nice to know this information while I'm in my upgrade screen, while I'm putting my mods on. So what do we have here, Pablo?
Yeah, essentially it's kind of in the same vein. Every weapon that has a special trait, anything that would make it work different, and unless you read the description, you wouldn't know about it, is now surfaced
People don't
here.
read.
People don't read, exactly.
Damn.
So now at least there's something that looks different here whenever you go to a weapon. And also the descriptions in here will tend to be much more detailed, like they'll have actual numbers and stuff. Whereas a lot of the descriptions that you find in most weapons, actually I was surprised that this one had numbers. Most of the times we just put like flavor stuff on those descriptions. So you have to go and check the wiki to understand how they work. So now the information will be here so that you kind of know what's going on as you're modding.
Oh my God, and someone just said Incarnate and Arsenal in chat.
Well,
Someone
just you wait.
Yeah, just you wait.
Just you wait. All right, that is the end of our accessibility dev workshop. Exclamation point accessibility if you'd like to check all that out, nitty gritty. All right, now we move on to what is the more hefty quality of life workshop.
Yeah, that wasn't even the hefty stuff.
Whoa.
Are you
Sorry,
guys ready?
Why don't we
for
just
more?
let's get a word from our sponsors.
No,
Okay.
we got this. We can't.
Okay.
I don't want to go after that. I mean, before.
All right, we're getting into the hefty one, which is our
Major QOL.
major QOL of system changes and general quality of life.
All right.
First
This is
and
a big
foremost.
list. Yeah. I'll blast through what I think I can do quickly, and then you can go
Okay.
along on the ones that need more support. Firstly, the focus lens convergence and buff. This is really just focus can be grindy. There's a lot of focus schools. If you ever wanted to complete them all, it might take some time. We've simply buffed the rate at which affinity is exchanged for focus across all lenses. Percentage increases, so you're just getting more focus. And additionally, when you hit up the convergence orb, it'll actually give you focus itself. So you're playing, you see the convergence orb, it'll be worth 5,000 focus, and I believe it's distributed equally among things that you
No,
know.
it's the same as the tracks. It essentially gives it to you to whatever school of focus you have selected.
Oh, okay, so it's not the distributed one. Okay. And then, yeah, just lenses give more focus is the end of that
Easy
one.
peasy.
Yeah. The main reason for the convergence ones is sometimes you find yourself in situations where it appears and there's no enemies around because you just cleared a wave or whatever, and it can be very frustrating. So now you get like a little extra just from picking it up.
It's
so.
like a candy.
It's like a candy.
Speaking of candy, shields.
Shields.
Yes, so this is actually going to be the biggest section, I think, to discuss, and I'll let you do it.
Under the bus.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so shields basically, shields have always been like less preferred than health and armor. Most people don't put in redirection, things like that. And we felt like they needed some love. Right now you're bizarrely incentivized to have lower shields so that shield gate can activate faster, which really kind of works against kind of what you would expect, that having more shields should make shields stronger. So we're doing several changes. Starting with shield gate will now scale based on how many shields you have. So if you're around 350 shields, 360, something like that, you have the exact same shield gate duration as you have on live right now. Anything above, it grows all the way to 2.5. I think the one in live right now is 1.33. You can get all the way to 2.5 if you have larger shields. So that means that shield gate duration can actually last quite a bit. Not only that, but right now, the way it works in live, if you have regenerated 1% of your shields or 99% of your shields, you get the same shield duration, the bottom one. We changed it so now it actually grows linearly. So if you're at 50% shields, you're going to get half the shield gate duration and not just the lower one. So you basically have, it is way better protection now.
Yeah, it would incentivize you to consider investing in shield regen and a bigger shield capacity.
The other change that came with that is right now shields on the live build diminish all damage taken by 25%. We bumped that up to 50%, so essentially you now have a 33% bonus there of damage received. And the main reason for that is sometimes shields feel like paper and they just kind of disappear very quickly. So we just want to make them a little more resistant.
And this applies to companion shields as well, which is why the EHP buff may have felt very large, and that's because shields now mitigate more damage, just as a stat.
Obviously, for anyone that uses the famous Decaying Dragon key, you can think of yourself, well, if it scales with the size of my shields, that means the Decaying Dragon key no longer works. And that is true. The Decaying Dragon key strategy is pretty bad now. So what we did is we basically made it into, we did the classic make a change into a feature. So we now have a mod that essentially does what the old Dragon key did. Sets your shield gate to 1.33 because it's exactly what we have on live, and it reduces your shields by to 25% of what they were. So it essentially does the same, but now you have to pay a mod slot for it.
Yeah, and I think for that, we are giving the mod away for an alert for the week after launch. So Dagoth will launch that new mod, which is a corrupted mod. It will be put in the corrupted vaults where you get your other corrupted mods. But for 1 week, up for free in an alert completely.
You can go to my screen, my gameplay real quick, Danny. There it is. Catalyzing shield.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
And I think a big reason for this is the best way to survive in Warframe as we continue to make this game shouldn't be use a gear item from 10 years ago that reduces your shields, because we added shield gating 3 years ago, and both those things happen to work really well together. I love that. I love that players figured it out, but it's not intuitive at all, and it's not very accessible, and it honestly can be a little, it's off-putting. Like, hey, the best way to survive is to use this gear item that happens to work, which is cool. Like, emergent gameplay is cool, and I love that, but we want it to formalize it, ratify it, and make it a true intended shields are actually good system versus don't use them ever and get rid of them. So.
The last thing is any mods that have shield regen now also reduce the delay.
Yeah.
So before you still had the same delay, so those shield regions a lot of times just didn't feel the impact. Now it does both, so you basically get your shields back faster. So hopefully that'll make them, I know a lot of veterans that have all the things might laugh at me in thinking that they would ever use them, but I think for some people with these changes they will actually be useful.
Yeah.
We're going to go a little bit out of order on that, but we're going to go to Warframe level up stats.
Yeah, okay, so this one is
Pop quiz.
yeah.
We have a pop quiz for it.
This one is both a gigantic change and a change that you probably won't even notice.
Favorite kind.
Insert slide one, Danny.
Slides one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you're good at math, Steve. Tell me.
your rank 30 Excalibur has 300 health. You add a Vitality mod with 440% health. How much health do you have?
This makes my eyes. This makes me cross my eyes. Yep.
So if you've ever played Warframe, you know that the answer is 740, which is a bit of a weird math. You wouldn't expect that 440% of 300 health would get you there. But the reality is that that percentage applies on the number of the health number that you had at rank 0, which is not a number you see for long, and it's not something that's exposed. So it's very hard to kind of understand the why for anyone that's just starting the game. So what we did is we changed it so that the level up stats now apply directly to the base. So that means any mods that you put on grow the base, that entire stat. Obviously, that means that we cannot keep Vitality at 440%, or it would be insane. So we kind of redid all the numbers, not only to simplify that, but also to raise the floor. What that means is basically when you don't have mods, you're now a little higher on health, but then with the mods, you basically end up kind of the same place. So you can see in that example, you have the old health at 300, now it's 370, the armor grew by 15, and then the shields grew by 70, and essentially a rank 30 Excalibur with no extra mods has 36% more EHP. But then if you put on the max mods, so if you put all the Vitality, Redirection, and the Steel Fiber, you basically only end up 7% higher. And the main reason for that 7% is the change we talked about earlier, where shields now absorb more damage.
Yeah, it's not actually a statistical change in the raw numbers, it's a damage mitigation change. However, to be clear, if we've done our job right here, you probably won't notice anything, except easier.
It'll be clearer.
It'll just be clearer.
Yep.
That's the goal. Yeah, so flow, yeah, people are saying prime flow is going to be crazy now. It is not, you're not getting a prime flow multiplier on your max tank of gas. It's just, because it was always applying to your base rank 0 energy pool.
That you couldn't see anymore because you were obviously rank 30. Yeah.
So now that it's applying to the final number, which is a much larger number, then the percentage can be smaller, and basically you end up around the same place, but everything is clearer now, and also elevates the floor, like I was saying. So any of the things you didn't mod, then you have higher, right? So
yeah, people are saying it's Warframe's first stat squish. Like, no, it's just.
It's a clarity pass.
It's a clarity pass. Yeah.
Like Reb said, you shouldn't notice anything, but it'll be much clearer that your health, shield, and like those values should be much clearer at a glance what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, we might need to do a clarity video on that because if people see lower numbers on their mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if you actually are more into like the maths, all the accounting of things, mods like bigger that have a prime version, for example, now are stronger because the bases are stronger. So there's some winners there. The convergence point, that's from that where kind of you start higher. So obviously, if you start higher and you end up at the same time, that means there's a point that you kind of start going lower. That point is 2 Umbra mods at max. So just for more nerdy.
The Dev Workshop has a lot of maths in it if you are interested in
every Warframe is statted out for you in there, all 53.
Oh, you know what I didn't mention on the companion one?
Oh my god.
So obviously what you just saw also doesn't affect companions because
companion ranks were so crazy.
Yeah, the companion ranks were insane. So companions no longer have ranks, by the way. But they were
stats
fine.
that scale with ranks, to be clear. They still have ranks for your mod capacity. They just don't have scaling stats.
Because only a few of them had it. It was hopeless. Anyways, but Link Vitality, they had Link Vitality, but they also had the Vitality, I think it was called Enhanced Vitality.
Correct.
Enhanced Vitality was really bad compared with Link Vitality. There were no real scenarios where it was better. So now we bumped that up, and it's changed in a way that...
It's in the Dev Workshop.
Oh, it's in the workshop. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure is.
It's useful sometimes.
Some mods are good sometimes. The Warframe promise.
Sometimes not. We make them useful. All right, we're going to move on to Break Armor missions. If you're you feel good about that? Okay. Moving on to Break Armor missions, we have some general quality of life changes, as Taylor put it. Oh, Taylor!
It hurts.
I'm gonna literally write or say what Taylor wrote because it's amazing.
Which she mentioned. Shout out to Scott who submitted them in Perforce as if Call was writing his own Perforce CL. It is so funny. Scott Mellinson.
Oh my
god. Yeah, like he wrote his
in character
he
check
wrote
in.
It, yeah, it's so good. Or like inspired by. Sorry, Scott, I didn't mean to call you out there.
So our quality of life changes for the Break Armor missions are Call see more. Call now has loot radar and enemy radar. Call go fast. Call's max speed and overall walking speed has been increased. Call earn stock. We've added stock pickups to Break Armor missions, and Call will now find additional weapons next to his fallen brothers as a way to add more variety to overall gameplay. So
Nice.
yep, that's it. A little bit of a lift for our Break Armor players.
Yeah, I'll just elaborate a little bit on the stock one just because I know that's going to be a little more tricky. Essentially, if you guys, whenever you play a Cal mission, you're often like looking around for pickups or whatever to find them. So obviously now you have the loot radar, so that will make it easier. But even when you don't find one, now you'll find a little crate with a tiny bit of stock, just so that you get something when you're looking around, and you don't feel like you just went down a corridor and got nothing for it. Essentially, that's kind of the vibe of it.
Yep, there's 5 stock pickups per mission. All right, moving on. Nightwave changes.
Yeah.
Nightwave.
Nightwave changes.
Do you want to just blitz through those?
I'll blitz.
Running low on time.
3, 2, 1. We're adding 3 permanent weekly acts intended to be unlocked with regular Warframe gameplay. For the next series, we've done a complete act audit with the goal of reworking, removing, and adding new challenges to the system. Acts are getting changes that we felt reasonable to do.
So there is a Dev Workshop on this.
There is a Dev Workshop that will list it all out to reduce the grind, to complete some acts, and expand in the ways players can actually complete them. And for the first time when you log into Nightwave series, when we have a new one that pops up, you're going to get a screen that kind of highlights at a glance what Nightwave can offer you.
And it's all pictures, so you don't have to read it.
No reading.
No reading necessary.
So the TLDR there is permanent acts are in addition to everything else, and those are ones we think you can earn in the natural state of play just to make your life a bit easier to progress in Nightwave.
Sorry, no, they replace some weaknesses.
Well, yes, but they're just always there.
Yeah, they're always there. And the main idea is like we still like the Nightwave kind of makes you go to different parts of the game, but we thought it was too much that all the acts do that. So now 3 of them are basically things that you're gonna get just by playing normally, completing missions, killing enemies, and whatever. So you'll basically get a little bit just from playing, and then the other ones are like you know from before, essentially things that do make you go and do this particular, go murder a thumper or whatever, right? So
Yeah. So that's coming. Partial release. Some of it will be live in our Nightwave, like when this update goes live.
We can't change Nightwaves from like daily to weekly because then there's that standing issue if you're like currently in the middle of a Nightwave. But we do have some changes that'll be coming in this update to current acts that just kind of change the requirement for them. So instead of getting 10 of this, you gotta just get 5, stuff like that, just to kind of reduce it.
yeah, I have in the notes that we removed 12 acts that we saw feedbacks as not being fun. We reduced the requirements on around 25 of them, and there will be 14 new acts.
Yeah, so the reduced requirement ones will be in this update. Other ones when we do the next Nightwaves.
Yeah, which will be this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Damage
attenuation.
I'll just take this one pretty quickly. This is only in the context of Archons and Archon hunts. We do have damage attenuation, aka damage pillows, on these boss units, which lead to like kind of 2 paths. If you don't have the build that one-shots them, you're usually, I think you like to say, chopping wood.
Yep.
You know, you're just shooting away, waiting for the damage pillows to kick in.
Oh man.
What we've done with the initial goal was sometimes you can be in an Archon fight for 25 minutes, depending on if you're playing with people that don't really know the meta. So we've just taken the damage pillow. If you like, this is a visual metaphor. Right now, it's like it lets this much damage in over the attenuation, and we've kind of made it like that. So we've just made it so that you'll be doing more damage to Archons more frequently. The intention is to shave off, on average, if you're not using your one-hit builds, shave off the time it takes to complete an Archon run. This dev workshop, it will be live after this. It'll go through how it's going to impact the spread of ways that you deal damage to the Archons, because right now, criticals roll after the damage attenuation. It's just kind of all over the place. So we're just, widening the gap so that people with high rate of fire weapons, with other things, can do more damage. The pillows have essentially just been blasted to be more damage gets in. Damage is calculated to try and make them go faster for players that, find them a little too long. And that's basically it.
Basically it. All right. We'll move right along to barrel scaling. Pablo, you made a lovely video for us.
Is that
didn't
even
you?
on this?
No, it's
Barrel
not.
Scaling? Oh my god. Okay, this
it
is
is.
actually going to save Warframe. This is
it.
This is the one we've been waiting
Before,
for.
barrels were the worst. Enemies would laugh at your barrels. Look at them laughing. They see your barrels, they don't care.
Oh,
But now they care.
They
Dead.
do care.
They scale.
Yeah, so basically, it's essentially that. The barrels were just kind of for funsies before, because they didn't really do enough damage to have any impact to enemies. So now they do, and depending on how close the enemy is to the barrel, sometimes they insta kill, as you're seeing there. If they're a little further away, they take a lot of damage, but they don't fully die.
Yeah, so we'll be expecting barrel montages after this update releases. We want to see your best barrel deaths.
yeah. Take your barrel before videos now. And we'll compare notes in October.
Yeah, who knows what kind of gas is in those barrels, am I right?
They mock me, but I actually really care about this stuff because I find like interactive things like that in levels are really cool.
Oh, they're great.
They're
yeah.
great. This is the best.
Enemy scaling.
The best day ever.
People
That's so
love
great.
barrel frame. This is perfect.
Barrel frame.
All right, going back to that comment we saw earlier about Incarnate evolutions. If you're involved in the Incarnate system, you know that you pick a perk and you're set with that perk for life. You're locked in.
Forever.
Now you're not.
Yeah, we basically made it
Gameplay,
so
Danny?
at least swapping them around, you can now do directly in the arsenal, so you don't have to go to Caballero to swap them around. You still have to go to Caballero to unlock, to install your Incarnate adapter. Essentially anything that's like an actual progression of the Incarnate system, you still have to visit Caballero for him to help you out with this. But just to swap them around, you can now do it directly here at your convenience.
Do the barrels do friendly fire?
They do friendly fire, but it's extremely reduced. So you basically it's not impossible for you to murder
Scaling
yourself.
Gotta be a
Fire.
gamer. Gotta be a gamer. Speaking of being a gamer, if you are a gamer, you might have gone through Steel Path Circuit and gotten all your Incarnates. So what's next for you? What else can you acquire?
Well, if you're
What
rank
do?
9 in the Duviri opportunity, whoosh, there's new rewards.
Not gonna lie, I picked mine already. Sorry, Pablo.
Yeah, so basically you can you get all the options for incarnates just as usual. But if you want, if you unlock that particular intrinsic, you can now select a ribbon instead, a ribbon or two instead. Basically, there's the three main types appear there for you to choose. So you have something to do once you went through all the incarnate adapters and you have them all.
Yep. There you go.
And that's it. We're done. That part.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Did we say anything? You good?
I have a few.
Give her. Go. No, I love it.
What do you got?
What do you got?
We did a pass on mod description revisions. Basically, we changed about 50 mod descriptions to be more clear. Just things that were kind of confusing about how they worked before. 50 plus all the Bane mods also got touched, so it's a bunch of different mods that got updated. The finisher types. So basically, there's a lot of things like decrease and things like that, or an augment for in arrows that was tied to finishers that wouldn't trigger from mercy finishers or from ground finishers. Basically, we had like a distinction between finisher, ground finisher, and mercy finisher. So now all of those would respond to the same. Basically, they would trigger the same events, and also ground finishers will now deal true damage. So they're quite a bit stronger.
It's a shame you changed Hydroid's passive that doesn't knock him down anymore.
Yeah, maybe
Revert,
now you're missing it.
No longer get ground.
And that's it.
All right. Exclamation point system QOL if you would like a link to the dev workshop.
That's like legit impressive, guys.
What do you think?
That's
Are you
crazy.
sweating over there? You enjoying
There's actually,
yourself?
we're being reviewed right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
They're
That's
reviewing
wild.
our work.
Please.
So.
I love
Keep
the
job.
person in chat. Actually, I don't. He was like, "Game should have shipped this way." Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
afraid
10
to
years
say
ago when
it doesn't. It's hard to
I mean, it doesn't quite work that way, my friend.
You can't rework Hydroid if Hydroid
It doesn't
exist.
exist. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very difficult.
I think the clarity is great, and the changes
Yeah,
of
it's
scaling.
really
I'm
impressive.
very curious what will happen with builds with the changes of shield.
Yeah,
it
the
seems
shield thing,
very significant.
It is quite significant.
Yep.
And yeah.
We'll obviously be watching, monitoring when this goes out. Love your constructive feedback. I know we just put out 5 developer workshops, and I understand that's a lot. So if you just want to link to the developer workshop forums, you can do exclamation point workshop, and you can just see
And
them
this
all
comes
at a
out.
glance.
It comes out next
All
year?
of this comes out October 18th.
October 18th.
No way.
Oh my
It
God.
can't come out that
But
soon.
wait, but wait, do you know what else?
There's more.
There's more.
There can't be.
Guys,
There
we're not
is
done.
more.
I'm
We're not
overwhelmed.
We're not done. Also coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update on October 18th is Grendel Prime.
It has been so long. Our sweet baby Grendel.
Come on over to yeah. Oh, there he is.
So cool.
Oh, look at those tusks, baby. Look at those tusks.
Oh my God, he looks so good. He is getting a Prime trailer, which will be launching closer.
Looking fun.
And it's looking very fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we got Grendel Prime. Coming with Grendel Prime is the Xylock Prime, of course, and even more, of course, it's the potato on a stick, the Masseter Prime.
I'm so glad this
Look at that.
this weird weapon
Look
got
at
made.
it
It
go.
is the most insane, intricate melee weapon we
it's
have.
amazing,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's like a
literally
rototiller. I love it.
Yeah, it is
so good.
So many
potato.
times I tried to get this.
Also coming with Grendel is a Prime Syndana, the Sumba Prime Syndana,
it's amazing.
and the ephemera
sweet.
that you saw earlier is the Oni Prime ephemera, which is very dainty for our boy Grendel. I
No,
think it
it
looks
is
incredible.
No, it's,
Red.
It's
so-
incredible.
It's so good, yeah.
And I also have some more fashion frame. Do you guys want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, wait, don't
you're
look at
making
this
me
one
nervous
though.
now.
Don't look at this
That's
one.
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yep. It works
Come
for me.
on,
It works
Jeff.
for me. Jeff
Yeah.
is pausing though,
Yeah,
but it
it
works for me.
It looks like Midna colors from Twilight Princess. Is that what it is?
My girl. Oh my god. Actually, don't know what to say. Oh, this was just like we can play the random colors. Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Keep hitting it.
Yeah, he looks
Ooh,
incredible.
okay, that's more my
knew you
style.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there
come
he is.
on.
There he
Come
is.
on.
But I did do a little bit of fashion frame with that Oni ephemera because it honestly is very tasteful on a lot of frames. What do we think of her?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
That works. That works well.
Skyers drew an Ivara Prime on my cast.
Oh,
This is
that's
girl.
awesome.
This is the one frame that Skyers complimented me on, and I'll never stop saying that.
Oh, thanks, Skyers.
So anyways, Oni Ephemera works on some really nice ones, and then another one of my favorites, sorry, it's just Ghost with the deluxe skin. He go fast, look at him
that
go.
looks so good.
Look at him go, Jeff.
The skin looks amazing. It's like the.
Garnet language.
Do you remember when
I
Homer,
do like the skin a
Do you remember when
lot.
Homer made the makeup gun for Marge?
Well, I'm offended. Anyways, Grendel
Makeup
Prime
gun.
and all of those Prime additions will be coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update.
Yeah, so the day that update launches on all platforms, you'll be able to get your hands on all those changes, those 5 dev workshops, the brand new frame, the new abyssal beacons, sort of treasure map, ghost ship, syndicate missions, Dagoth's dojo room, the frame herself, and then obviously Grendel Prime is launching. So if you want to support us with a Prime Access purchase with that meaty update, it'll be there for you.
Ooh, meaty
Grendel.
update. I like it.
The meatiest update.
Let's do 1,000 platinum before we talk about cross save, shall we?
Talk about cross
Ooh,
save.
talk about cross save.
There are no deluxe skins in this update.
No, next update, Sevagoth
yeah,
Deluxe.
and when we get to the dev stream to talk about that,
You're excited?
breaking news about that.
Is it the? No, I actually don't know.
Breaking news.
About the Sevagoth Deluxe skin.
Oh,
It's
man.
almost so cool.
Is it the fish?
It's too cool.
No, it's not the fish.
No.
I shouldn't have said
Sorry,
anything.
Yeah, it's really
1,000
cool.
platinum has gone to Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Danny's at
Danny,
you.
Danny,
2007.
Congratulations, you have won 1,000 platinum. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now with your in-game alias, platform and play Warframe, and we'll get you your 1,000 platinum, Danny 2007. All right, show that asset that you know and love from Tenno Live. We did announce on Tenno Live that cross-platform save is coming in 2023. That is still the goal. That is still the plan.
It's
that
still
is still what we're-
2023.
It is
Still
still
2023.
2023. Also mentioned during Tenno Live is that we were going to have some behind-the-scenes code that is in Abyss of Dagoth that is going to lead to the rollout of eventually cross-save. And one of those things is the clan system and how that's going to function overall.
Yes, we're doing a merge so that we have, a single source of truth for clans and social under the hood, and the Dagoth update will unify that.
Yes.
And there will be something the players notice, so I assume that's what we're going to talk about.
That's what I'm about to
Okay,
say.
you go right ahead.
For the Abyss of Dagoth update, we are adding cross-play clans. So if you opt in, that's going to let you invite players from other platforms to join your clan. It also shows if you have a clan advertisement on other platforms, they can see it, they can request to join your clan cross-play. Now I know this is a cross-play feature, but like you said, it's part of a much larger initiative behind the scenes for cross-save when it comes to clans and comes to dojos. So there will be behind-the-scenes code involved in that is going to result in things later on, but this is kind of the first step as
gotta
we
hoist and
Yeah.
move things around. We have nothing to share on trading or merging right now. We're going to need more time to give you the true facts versus what we think we are going to do. So,
Is it the cross play friends stuff isn't in this one either, is it?
I thought the friends list was.
I thought the friends
That might be-
be.
It's at least setting the stage for it. Like
Yes.
we are.
I've seen it being tested
Clans
anyway,
are,
right?
yeah, it is being tested right now.
Yep.
Cross-platform friends
Yeah.
is being tested right now.
Yep.
It will be coming. I'm not sure if it's in this update, but
Yep.
this is. We need this update to get there.
Yep.
So that's the point.
making
Yep.
steps. We are making steps.
Yep.
All right. Shall we do Wisp Prime access
Yeah.
before we move on
Yeah.
to what's next? Wisp Prime access.
I don't know. Any news on Warframe for Android? Nope. Can't wait. My
PC
PC is moist and ready.
You must be a Hydroid player.
Check your
Not in a
cooler.
puddle, though.
Check your
Oh,
cooler.
no puddle.
Yeah, no puddle, Pablo.
No problem. RIP.
RIP. All right, Wisp Prime access is going to the lucky Twitch viewer of, I can't read that.
Drag Thorth?
Drag Thorth? I sound like I had a list.
Drag Thorth.
Drag Thorth.
Who's Drag Thorth?
Underscore.
Congratulations, you won a
Drag
Wisp Prime.
Thorth underscore.
You've won a Wisp Prime access. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now with your in-game alias, platform, and play Warframe on, and we'll get you your Wisp Prime access. Hey, in the next Devstream, it'll be Grendel Prime.
Hey!
All right. There's a reason why these two individuals are here. We
What?
have
We're
word
here
from
to
our
just have fun.
sponsors.
What did you just say? I thought we were.
What did you think of our stream?
She's so cool, eh?
I've seen lots of Dagon.
I know you have.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
We're excited. I'm just
Yeah.
very curious what's going to happen with the meta with these quality of life
Will you
changes.
join
It's
my
so
clan?
cool.
Will you guys join my clan?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. And now a word
Depends on
from our
colors.
sponsors.
Soulframe. Take it away, boys.
Oh my god, that is so outrageous.
Yeah, that's,
Why not?
Why not?
Warframe is funding
Yeah, Warframe's our
Soulframe
sponsor.
development, so it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, but you funded this stuff.
Do you have
Oh, did
gummy
I?
worms?
Yeah,
No.
you don't give me the worms back.
You get the worms.
Okay, here you go.
Danny?
You caught them that time.
God.
We don't have a lot to say about Soulframe, but we have a little bit to say about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it
Yeah.
going? You put the music video live.
If you go to our
yes.
YouTube page,
Exclamation point SF Music will take you right there. Look at that.
So the beautiful song at the climax of our live demo at TennoCon, a lot of people were requesting the song, so you can get it today and loop it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Please go listen. It is beautiful.
Please go listen and, you know, what do they say? Smash the buttons on the smashing.
Oh, yeah.
Crush those
Yeah.
buttons between your thick thighs.
Whoa!
Oh, whoa.
And you know, we're going to be putting up, I think we have an animation
Yeah,
preludes
we're going
coming.
to hopefully do a regular check-in with some of the developers on kind of the progress of the game that
Yeah.
you can kind of give insight to.
Progress of the game, you say.
Yeah, and if you want, there's some people just are like, shut up and tell me when the game's out. Obviously, this channel's not going to be for you because we're a bit of ways out working on the game still.
The YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel and the game itself.
And when is this game coming?
When is this free game coming?
But-
Yeah.
a pretty big but there.
So we've got the Discord. That is-
Exclamation point
I'm
SF
joining.
Discord. If you want to join.
Exclamation SF Discord. So
Sarah's in there now.
So
Sarah's
Sarah's
in
in there
there.
waiting
Yeah.
to chat, and Jeff and I are gonna.
Dude, it's almost 4 o'clock.
Okay,
I know.
I'm kidding.
before Jeff's nap, he's gonna jump into the Discord, and we'll be in Discord for the next few hours, answering questions that you might have if you're interested in Soulframe.
I'm in it. I'm in the Discord.
I know there's not a lot to go on yet, and we're still early, so. If you are, just shut up and wake me up when the game comes out. Then this isn't for you. But if you want to,
Oh my God, there's people in there.
you want to be early in there, come by and we'll talk to you. And then lastly, I think, which is a little more nerve-wracking
Scary and exciting.
and dramatic,
Yeah.
is well, I suppose in the same way that we built Warframe, we'd like to build Soulframe with some of you, and that means that in December. We are going to be offering
We're hoping for December.
in December. in December.
Doesn't say what year.
In December, a
I think
very
we broke Discord. It's too fast.
okay. Well, we'll put slow mode on. In December, we're going to start kind of raffling off slots to play basically the Preludes version of Soulframe, which is the prototype. Pre-alpha. You thought the beta tag on Warframe was a joke. Well, this alpha tag is not a joke. And so I think this is going to be PC first. Obviously, the game is going to be on many, many platforms. But during this Preludes phase, just for the iteration time, we're going to be inviting small groups of people to come in and give us feedback on really simple stuff like, you know, how does the melee combat work, the parry system.
Yep.
You'll be able to run through what is essentially what you saw in the TennoCon demo and play that boss fight and explore the Undercity and take a look at the Midrath Isle, play some songs and meet little Avocot, our little sneezing plant sprout folk.
Helping us test out some loops.
So again, if you don't want to see how the sausage is made and see a whole bunch of like broken whip stuff, this is definitely not something you want to be involved in. We'll probably be taking slots from people who signed up and reserved their Envoy title, preferentially from early, and then we'll just kind of be doing them in pockets. So it's not going to be a huge group, but I would like to, if we can we invite someone from chat maybe and give them an opportunity
We
as well
can do a
to
lucky-
be the first into the Preludes in December-ish.
All right.
If you sell this on eBay.
We're going to do a Soulframe Key Twitch picker. Now, it's obviously not going to do anything right now for you, but we
Yep.
will get you to
Get your
whisper
info,
us.
yeah.
We'll get your email. We'll get it all
Yep.
sorted out so
Yep.
that you will be in that
Is it-
alpha.
Is it going to be multiplayer?
Yes. So
Player King.
Player King X47 the first.
Damn! All right, very important.
The
Player,
first, I can't
Come
believe
on,
it.
really?
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
please whisper. The Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now, we need your email. We're going to chat with you. We'll get all the information we
That's
need
cool.
from you, and then we'll obviously be in connection with you when it gets closer to this alpha day.
That's right. And again, if you were a console player, my apologies. The cert stuff does kind of make it a bit of a barrier for us to do this kind of Preludes prototype. So this is going to start on PC, and then we're going to open it up to more platforms. Obviously, our intention is to be on those consoles as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to, I mean, we started talking about how happy TennoCon made us just to be back in person with our community. We're really, October next week, and we have a great Warframe update. Soulframe is going to be kicking off with this pre-alpha. And then,
the correct number.
of course, we will have a October dev stream and a November dev stream, both of which will be looking towards Whispers in the Walls, which is releasing this year for Warframe as well. So you're getting a content drop in October, and then the next major one will be in December, probably. Don't quote me.
Did you see the YouTube, the Nine Inch Nails?
I probably shouldn't have said December. I don't
YouTube?
think I was supposed to say anything. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Oops.
nah, you're fine.
maybe it's November and I'm lying.
Christmas.
Under
Anyways.
promise, over deliver.
All right. We made it under 2 hours.
Oh, great.
Not bad.
It's only 3:53. We have 7 minutes. What do you want to film?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I'm going to fill my diaper because I really have to pee.
sorry. All right. Danny, do you mind just doing the Abyss of Dagoth slide? Just the big and we'll just really quickly recap.
Oh my god, people are going to want shield blessings now. For
Oh, legendary people. Progress. All right, just to recap everything we just talked about, not Soulframe. Update 34, Abyss of Dagoth, launching October 18th. Our 54th Warframe, her new melee weapon, the clave, whatever. Dagoth, whatever. Alt helmet, Kaith cosmetics, dojo room. We got void shell skins. We got Knights of Nabarus stuff. All of that quality of life that you listen to us talk about, show you, is all coming.
So
those
much
reworks
cool stuff.
are all coming. Grendel Prime and all that great stuff. So that is all October 18th. Coming to you live, all platforms. We'll see you then for that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a crazy update, and I want to thank the team because,
thank you to
like,
the
we
team.
made this, the whole team made this, and obviously we're just kind of here showing you
I'm embarrassing
the
them,
work
like
of a lot
always.
of people. And you know, with this update had worked at the same time as Tentacles was being worked on, and as the later update of Whispers of the Wall is coming. So it's crazy the amount of work that they put in.
Yeah, and
just thank you, everyone.
people have been making just incredible decisions and contributions to the team, so very happy to see everyone working together to give the community some cool updates. It's been a great time, and I'm very happy, and I hope everyone enjoys what's coming.
So October is going to be a big month. 10 VIP, see you in Vegas if you're there. We got Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign, lots of streams coming your way. We got the big update coming, so October is going to be a juicy month. And I'm
How
excited.
juicy? Bursting?
Oh, disgusting.
Will it be bursting with juice?
All right, that's it for us. See you in 2 hours for prime time. Thank you.
It's actually true. It's actually true.
Why don't we just keep going?
No,
Stay
let's
here.
not,
Oh
no.
wait, people are saying how we're going to get God for Prime. Barrow will have it eventually.
Oh,
Barrow
sorry,
Katir.
yes. I had that noted, and I completely doesn't.
I got you.
Barricatier will have the Gopher Prime, as he usually will have the TennoCon items. All right, that's finally it. Jeff, thank you for being here. Steve, thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
Great shirt.
Oh,
Reb,
thank
thanks
you.
for being here. Great hat.
Yep.
Paulo, thanks for being here and wearing
Nice pants. Nice
Danny, thank you for running the stream.
Danny, catch!
Danny.
Oh my God. All right, we will see you in 2 hours for prime time. Bye, everybody.
Bon. Petit récap du Devstream du coup. Bonsoir à ceux que j'ai pas vus, bonsoir à ceux que j'ai vus. Du coup, petit récap Devstream de exprès de la reprise du coup. Donc plein de petites nouveautés toutes fraîches que je vais vous montrer dans pas longtemps. Alors, je vais peut-être vous mettre, hop, c'était pas celle-là, ça doit être celle-ci. Voilà, je vais vous couper, hop, ceci. Et on va partir du coup sur, hop. Donc, avec tout ceci, on a beaucoup de choses fraîches qui sont sorties du coup. Et plein de petites nouveautés qui sont pas mal aussi à prendre en compte. Donc, je vais vous afficher tout ça. On va faire une petite capture de fenêtre. Puis, je vais vous montrer les quelques nouveautés qui vont débuter dans les prochains jours. Capture d'écran peut-être. Oh, c'est pas grave si je fais une capture d'écran. Hop. Voilà. Hop. Guigui le best. Il fait toujours ça bien. Du coup, Hop, voilà. Petit récap du coup du Devstream. Premier événement depuis 2000, enfin premier vrai événement du coup en présentiel depuis la TennoCon, la Tenno VIP 2023. Elle aura lieu le 25 je crois. J'ai un doute, mais j'ai un doute. Mais bon. Hop, hop. Je vous redonnerai les dates ultérieurement. Cette année, le Conquer est de retour pour la recherche contre le cancer. Du coup, ça sera à partir, la campagne sera lancée officiellement pour Warframe à partir du 2 octobre à 20h. Bien sûr, je serai en live exprès samedi soir pour le lancement de la cagnotte sur la chaîne. Donc n'hésitez pas à faire point d'exclamation QTCC pour ceux qui veulent. Vous pouvez déjà faire des dons, il y a déjà plein d'objectifs. Avec ceci, Naberus qui est de retour pour vous jouer un mauvais tour. Avec des nouveaux glyphes, du coup 5 nouveaux glyphes. Et beaucoup d'autres accessoires. Prochaine mise à jour de Warframe arrive le 18 octobre. Donc le mercredi, si je ne me trompe pas, 18 octobre. Je vais regarder, mais je crois que c'est ça. Mercredi 18 octobre. Hop, hop, hop. Voilà. Je serai en stream le 20 pour vous montrer du coup les nouveautés qui seront sorties et faire un live spécial Conquer avec plein de jeux, etc. Que, là où on fera des parties ensemble, etc. Donc du coup, petit recap pour la mise à jour 34. La nouvelle Warframe Dagas. La 54e Warframe qui sera disponible soit dans le dojo, soit dans le marché, soit dans une mission. Avec ceci, du coup, une nouvelle je sais pas trop comment vous appelez ça, mais un truc bizarre, quoi. J'aime pas des systèmes comme ça, mais bon. Vous aurez des nouveaux cosmétiques pour le cheval et bien sûr un casque pour Dagas. Du coup, la nouvelle salle de dojo pour Dagas, un sorte de tombeau. Je sais pas si je vais vous... Non, je l'ai pas. Un sorte de tombeau. Avec ceci, du coup, les Void Shell skins, des skins Void Shell pour Mirage, Protea et Nidus. Naberus, la nuit de Naberus revient officiellement à partir du 18 octobre à partir de 20h, si je ne me trompe pas. Vous aurez du coup les nouveaux glyphes. Avec ceci, vous aurez un rework de plein de trucs que je vais vous parler après. Avec ceci, vous aurez un skin de Naberus pour le Lotus. Et bien sûr, Grendel Prime qui sera disponible avec son Prime Access. Avec la mise à jour 34, vous aurez le rework de Compagnon. Un rework qui a été attendu depuis déjà 5-6 ans maintenant. Qui avait été annoncé mais qui n'a pas encore débuté. Donc il y a eu des changements qui arriveront prochainement. Vous en saurez plus. À ce moment-là, vous avez déjà des nouvelles interactions de mode et plein d'autres choses qui arriveront prochainement. Donc voilà un peu les nouveautés qui arriveront à ce moment-là. Comme l'augmentation, etc. sans mode et avec des modes max. Avec ceci, Hydroid qui aura son rework comme annoncé avec un nouveau passif, des nouveaux impacts de dommages, de la corrosion, corrosion et bien d'autres. Vous découvrirez ça dans Warframe à ce moment-là. Avec ceci, nous avons du coup une nouvelle expérience pour les joueurs, pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas tout. On supprime juste du coup les MK1 dans la quête du prix de Vor. Voilà, pour vous faciliter les choses. On facilitera aussi du coup la messagerie, si je ne me trompe pas, ou l'inbox, oui ça doit être ça, et les jonctions. L'ennemi radar a été remodifié et les quêtes, certaines quêtes seront plus faciles pour vous. Ainsi, il sera plus facile du coup d'obtenir un feu follet de Cetus ou encore des Necramèches. Voilà. Avec ceci a été annoncé du coup, comme je l'ai dit, le radar à ennemis qui est modifié du coup, comme vous pouvez le voir la différence. Hein, vous aurez exprès comment je pourrais dire, un contour exprès pour les warframes et les ennemis. Avec ceci, le changement des maps pour les conservations. Vous aurez à l'époque, du coup à la date d'aujourd'hui, vous avez encore des marques moches, alors que à partir du 18 octobre, vous aurez tout ceci avec les logos des animaux à capturer. Avec ceci, du coup, vous aurez la chance, pour ceux qui n'ont pas encore fait des quêtes casse-pieds comme celle-là, pour avoir Yareli, vous aurez cette chance d'avoir des nouveautés pour les quêtes. Avec ceci, vous aurez plus d'informations sur les arcanes et autres aussi, pendant que j'y pense. Avec ceci, du coup, vous aurez des nouveaux accessoires, etc. L'auto-mêlée qui sera disponible à ce moment-là, une nouvelle histoire et bien d'autres. Avec ceci, des changements arrivent encore niveau qualité de vie, comme les lentilles de focus, les break armor, les Nightwave, et bien d'autres, le style pass, arcane non, et bien d'autres. Avec ceci, du coup, voici un peu des changements de vie qui arrivent pour les Warframes, pour les modes, pour certains modes. Changement aussi pour les modes de flux, redirection, fibre d'acier et vitalité, qui ont connu des énormes changements, parce qu'on passe quand même pour vitalité à la date d'aujourd'hui de 440% en max à 100% au max. C'est un truc énorme. Avec ceci, du coup, je sais pas si vous allez le voir, je vais vous le mettre. Hop. Le son pour les nouveaux des sons, pour voir la différence du coup. Donc c'est des changements, je sais pas si vous avez réussi à les voir, je suis désolé si vous les avez pas. Et pour finir du coup avec ceci, le cross-platform, le cross-save, des nouveautés qui arrivent à partir du 18 octobre, avec du coup la possibilité d'être multiplateforme pour les clans et bien d'autres fonctionnalités qui arriveront à ce moment-là aussi, comme annoncé et comme prévu pour ceux qui veulent, voilà. Il a été annoncé le jeu officiel Soulframe et je suis fier de vous annoncer que vous avez juste à taper https://discord.gg/play Soulframe et vous aurez le lien officiel du Discord. Donc vous l'aurez, il est disponible à partir de maintenant, donc pour ceux qui veulent, vous pouvez déjà rejoindre tout ceci. Voilà. J'espère que ce petit Devstream vous aura plu quand même. Que malgré tout, ça vous a plu tout ça, que ça fait des énormes changements aussi, mais bon, on est fiers nous de notre côté que tout ceci se fasse. Voilà. Et j'espère que malgré tout, ça vous donnera aussi envie à vous de jouer à Warframe, à Soulframe aussi pour certaines personnes qui veulent y jouer. N'hésitez pas surtout. Voilà. On se retrouve demain soir pour un live spécial, soit Halloween ou autre chose, je sais pas encore. Je serai en direct du coup demain à partir de 21h30. Donc n'hésitez pas. Et du coup, à partir de 21h30 aussi peut-être, ou 22h, samedi pour le lancement de la cagnotte officielle. Voilà. Je vous souhaite à tous une bonne fin de journée, une bonne soirée. Ciao!